Good afternoon, OOTPers. Welcome in from wherever you may be watching today. Canada, US, Mexico, Brazil, Latin America, Europe, Asia, or New Zealand. Maybe you're from New Zealand. Welcome all in, guys. This is the HAWC Report. This is episode number 41. Woohoo! More elites. And I see a lot of comments there about the servers. I don't know. Be patient, guys. DishNet just pretty much said, just be patient. They will fix it. And just it'll work itself out and you'll get to the missions. I won't get to the missions until after the show, and Charles usually kind of tries to multitask during the show. So yeah, they will get fixed, and I'm sure they will announce it soon here, right here on the channel. Thank you, DishNet, for rating over OOTP Developments, the place to be if you want the best simulation baseball game on the market. Go check it out. I think. And if anyone from OOTP is still here, I think they still have their sales going on, or at least one of their sales. Maybe the game is on sale right now. I'm not sure, but let me go to the website. Let's see it. Let's refresh. It looks like the winter sale is still showing up on the website. So if you're just tuning in, you don't own OOTP24 right now, you can go to OOTPdevelopments.com. And there you go. Get it for $9.99. Cheapest that it's been all year. And enjoy it, not just for this year, but you can play OOTP for at least another year after this, as usually the game stays on the server for a couple years. OOTP23 is still running, and it'll probably run until about April or May before that server shut down. So you get over a year still of enjoying OOTP if you haven't had the chance to play it yet. And DishNet is announcing he was able to get in. So be patient. It looks like the fix is almost in, and you're going to be able to get in the game very, very soon. Missions, though, a little bit slow to load. Everyone wants that Mookie Betts. EVC is pounding the keyboard. Let me in. Let me in. I need my new meta Mookie. Well, is he meta? We'll find out from Warbot in just a little bit. So again, don't forget to tune in tonight, or not tonight, but tomorrow. Thank you, Commando. It's like we had planned this. But yeah, tomorrow we are doing another hockey podcast, the Black Aces podcast, special Friday edition to wrap up the World Junior Tournament that is still going on. They're in the semifinals. I think the semifinals were today. USA, Sweden, Czech, and Finland, I think, are the final four teams. So we will wrap that up. And then the panel is going on vacation. Lanky Frank and Old Man Fred and Finn are taking a little bit of time off. And this old Canadian, no, not taking time off, but the panel from the hockey broadcast will be taking off most of January. So we're squeezing one more in tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern. And yeah, love to have you. We had a ball on Monday. We had some confusion. We had some laughs. It was a good time held by all, except maybe Old Man Fred. Maybe Old Man Fred didn't have some good times. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow on Friday. All right. Commando's here. Mark is here. Boiled Egg, Rojo, Vancouver, Ezra, Denny, Russ, Bus, and Warbot. Warbot's in the chat too. Also, a couple things. If you missed the pre-TWIP show, it was, man, I enjoy getting together with EVC and Spore and doing the hype for the pre-show, getting Dish all warmed up. And again, we had a couple new cards released on the pre-TWIP show, one LE and a gold reliever. So if you want to check out what cards they were, go check out the VOD. It's only about 40 minutes long. And skip ahead if you want and go check out which two new LEs, or one new LE and one new reliever for a community. Boiled Egg and Fussmucker, their community request was filled. So if you want to request a card, I'll put it in the chat here. You can fill out this form, list a couple players, the teams they played for, even the year, if you know the year, and Spore will keep it in consideration. No guarantees that they will be made. Over 100 community requests have been made so far. But you never know. You may just see your favorite player or a player you want to see show up on a future Tuesday Treasure Trove or a future pre-twipped show. So yeah, get those in. Also, are you guys playing the Laptop Pound lower level leisure lounge daily? Well, now's your chance to get in because we're on a new month here, January. And at the end of January, we're going to award the top finisher with 20 standard packs. 20 standard packs for whoever finishes the best in January in that one daily. It's the daily, runs about 11:30 Eastern every day, and 4 points go to the winner of the tournament, 3 for second, 2 for third, 1 for fourth. And my lovely dandy D Dempsey created spreadsheet manually, automatically keeps track of all the point leaders. So Boise, Pingu, Newt, the Luigi Knights, and the Santa, and those are the top 3 so far. They've each won one tournament. So I see Andy from Sheffield has a third placer. We got Sean Sull with a fourth placer. So community, get in there. Start playing the daily. We're going to see a couple changes to it, a couple slight tweaks. Slight tweaks coming up in the next few days or a week or so. And it's all iron and bronze cards. So get a chance to use some of those LEs that are in bronze and iron. Also, we will be giving some packs away, so stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. Going to play some trivia a little bit later on. Charles' infamous trivia contest, and also going to do an imperfect draft or a deal or no deal draft, whatever you want to call it. We're going to have some sort of strange rules that you have to follow if you want to win the bounty packs and claim the bounty prize. But you know what? We're on a high rate now. We need to go and do a quick giveaway here if I can. Let's see. I'm going to try this one again because I like the way this one shows up. So for 5 packs, the early HAWC Report giveaway, in a message, put the word elite. We had the elite cards come out today. Simply have to use elite. Single word is fine. Use all lowercase. And let's get some entries in. All right, we're going to only let this run about a minute before we shut it off. Let's bring in the man who was busy at work, although maybe he wasn't at work. I don't know. I think he just wanted out of the HAWC Report or out of the pre-TWIP show because maybe he wanted to get his cards in order for all these missions coming up. I don't know, maybe. No, he was busy off working, unlike EVC and myself. Warbot, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I was doing really well until a night or two ago, and then there was this hockey game, and
What? There was a hockey game a couple nights ago. Oh, please.
No, I think I must have been imagining that, right?
Do tell. What kind of hockey game was taking place?
I don't remember.
Oh, gee, you're younger than I. You're not supposed to lose your memory that quick. Oh yeah, look what popped up on the screen here. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Wow.
I mean, I know you say the Edmonton Oilers beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's be honest. Connor McDavid beat the Philadelphia Flyers. There were a couple of passes in there that were just ridiculous.
Yeah. You know, it was a close game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very close.
Really. Not really. This guy here, a generational player, Connor McDavid's kind of like the Mookie Betts of hockey, but better. He is a once in a lifetime kind of player. We had Wayne Gretzky here. We had, Paul Coffey with Mark Messier, and Connor McDavid is in town. So, we'll meet again next year because I don't think we'll meet in the playoffs, but I think this is the second time they played this year. So I'm sorry you're feeling bad, man. Can we boost your spirits a little bit? Anything we can do? No, nothing we can do. No,
we give away some packs. How about that? Let's give away
Okay,
some packs.
let's do that. All right, we're going to close off the entry form here. Can Connor play left field, Ezra? He can play anything he wants. If Tom Brady can play catcher and be drafted by the Montreal Expos, yeah, Connor McDavid can play anywhere. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the draw. We've got 50 entries. Who is going to be the winner of our early bird 5-pack giveaway? Look at those names fly by. And just when you think it's going to stop, it goes on to the next one. Bowman. There's no bull there. Bowman, UGA. Well, Bowman, congratulations. If you can fire me off a quick whisper and let me know what your perfect team username is, just click on my name there in the chat. Send me a whisper, and 5 packs will make their way. Oh, nice little, what game is that? Do you know what game that is, Warbot, on his little icon there, his little avatar? Is that like a Speed Racer or something like that?
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Reminds me of a 1980s game. Those of you that were kids in the 80s, what was that game where you had the steering wheel? It was like at an arcade game, like a big full-size game.
Outrun? Or is that an older one, maybe?
You did a lot of sliding. I know when you drove, you slid all over the place. Pole position. Yeah, pole position.
Outrun's the one I remember, I think. That's
yeah. All right. So congratulations, Bowman. I hope you were able to cheer Warbot up after a certain hockey game was played a couple nights ago. Well, Warbot, I believe I don't think you're in Europe right now, are you? Did they kick you out of Europe for a while?
Yeah, in the US for a little bit. So
yeah. So over on the US, I told Warbot, try and find an Edmonton Oilers hat. And there's got to be one somewhere in the United States, right? It's got to be one somewhere.
I'll see. I'm in Philly at the moment, going to be in New Orleans next week, and then Boston for a little bit. So one of those places, right?
You going to go party on Bourbon Street a little bit there? Maybe hit the French Quarter? Do some ghost tours?
I'm there for a conference, but
boring. Come on, Charles, live it up. Live it up. Go grab some of those slushies on Bourbon Street. Go get some of the beads and throw them off the balcony. Have you been to New Orleans before?
Yeah, but it's been a while. So
yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't know about this time of year. I think what they got their Mardi Gras coming up in like April or March or somewhere around there. Yeah. Teddy O is from Louisiana. The real Teddy O, not the fake
that's
one.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the real Teddy O. And believe me, he probably has some stories to tell about his youth in New Orleans. Okay, you know what? Let's liven up the crowd a little bit. Sometimes in OOTP, you know how they give you news messages about your game or about your player, and sometimes you look at it and go, "How the heck did that one sneak in there?"
Yep.
You know that? I just want to know, has George Brett ever aroused you? I mean, because apparently Chess Safari got a message that he took a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Third baseman George Brett hit a 3-run home run that aroused the crowd. What goes on in Kansas City? I mean, don't cut the D-block dragon. Spent some time there.
Apparently not much.
If a home run can arouse the crowd, then you haven't been to New Orleans, have you? On a little sadder note, Pop Stongoria, he's in Diamond right now, and we've all been through this. He had, I think, there's so much red here, I feel like I'm marking an English lit paper. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 16-game losing streak after coming off a 2-4-7 game streak. Like, Charles, have you ever been on streaks like that?
Yeah, I last season I had a 5-23 month. It's actually, I think, worse than the one you showed, unfortunately.
In perfect or in diamond?
In perfect. I had a 5 and 23 month. I had another 8 and 18 month, and somehow we made the playoffs.
Wow. And I hear EBC mentioned on the pre-TWIP show today that you're in, or were in, first place, at least at that time, in perfect league. Charles, this is your week. This week or next week or the week after. I feel it. I feel you are going to be able to hold up a trophy, and you're going to be able to go, I did it, folks. I won the Stanley Cup of OOTP. And you're going to sip from it, and you're going to show it off on stream. It's going to happen.
If we do win, if we do win one, we'll definitely show it off on stream. But I think there are a lot of good teams, and you just got to get in the playoffs. Then you take your shot, right?
All right. Okay. Good. And also one other thing to show you here that someone in the Discord, in the Laptop Hound Discord, showed off is they were doing a draft, and it's not often you come across the two cards that they drafted. Do you know what they have in common?
Let me see.
We're testing Charles here.
Trying to see who the other one they drafted. I see Barra. Who's the other one they drafted?
Barra?
Aha. The other, I was trying to find the other green one. Yeah, okay.
I was hoping you'd say, no, I know that. What's the other one? Barra? We're doing like a comedy routine here. Yeah. So what's common between those two cards besides last name of Barra? Are they related? Do you know your baseball history?
I got it. They both played for the Yankees.
I think they're father and son, aren't they? Or grandfather and grandson? Chat, are they related? Let us know. Do these two gentlemen have a relationship? And I thought it was kind of cool that someone in Discord put this. Father and son Cub fan, Steve. There you go.
Son, it looks like.
And good news, alert, Pop Stongoria, who had a 16-game losing streak, is now 10-1 in July. So, I mean, talk about a steep.
So it gets better.
Yeah, the roller coaster is more thrilling than the ones at, what is it, Four Flags Park, Five Flags? What is that called in the U.S.?
Six Flags.
Okay, I'm short of flag. All right. Well, gang, I think we're going to do a bounty here. But before that, let me just bring it up on screen here because I've got it open right now. I was tracking how I was doing in the Laptop Daily. Charles, you won one last month in the Laptop Daily. Not
going
so
as well
successful
this month, though.
Yeah. And I noticed one day you didn't draft a team, so Jim Unknowns didn't take you to the second round. So I know sometimes you forget to draft. I do that too. But currently I am in a prize position right now as I beat the Stargell Stars in round one, and now I'm facing this team, Cassando's San Diego Wombat. San Diego is the theme of today with Petco Park and this here. So yeah, get involved in the Laptop Hound Daily. There's still room in the one that fires off tomorrow. We got Mile High Mayhem. So we got GT Sundown. We got Spore, who's advanced to round two. We got EVC playing Sean Saul's Rangers. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. We've got the Jokerfish. Andy's back there in the second round. Fussmucker, D Dempsey. I've got my Gladiators there, and the Newts, who already have one win this month. I don't see those nasty Dodgers who won the month of December. They might have got knocked out. Oh, there they are. Yeah, they got knocked out in the first round. Usually they go pretty far. So yeah, get involved in the Laptop Hound Daily. There you see it right there, the daily lower level leisure lounge. All right, Charles. Well, while I'm getting the bounty set up, I'm going to spring this on you. The chat is waiting for some sort of imperfect rules. So think about it.
I'm still trying to get into the servers, actually. Is that now working? Just to make sure everyone will be able to play the bounty.
Oh, Charles, it can wait. Come on. It's not like you're in perfect league. Oh wait, you are in perfect league. Yeah.
No, but I was saying if people, to make sure people will be able to actually draft and everything.
Dish said he got in,
Is that
and
working?
missions are going well. So might have
Great.
to close out your, I don't know, restart it, or just keep trying, because I know in OTP
Yeah, I'll take
23,
a shot.
you keep on trying and eventually you get in. All right. Well, you know what? We got a break coming up. So rather than break during our draft here, let's take that quick break here. We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with the imperfect drafts right after this. Stay tuned, Charles. Charles, go get in the server.
Gonna try. Let's see what we got.
All right, we're back, and yeah, Twitch is kind of glitching out for me here and there throughout the day. So hopefully there's not a lot of lag, and you guys can hear us. And if commercials pop in whenever, then no, it's one of those Twitch days. Well, Charles, were you able to get into the servers?
Still working on it, but we can. If it's working for a draft, let's do a draft.
All right, I think it should work for the draft. So let's come up with some rules first before people start drafting.
All right, I've got a couple suggestions. So I think we should do something with these PT Elite cards that just came out. So one possibility would be something like you can only draft a card from this millennium.
From what?
From the 2000s.
Oh, from the 2000s.
Yeah, so you got to draft some card, I don't know if that's too hard.
I don't know if we're going to get a big enough selection there of the 2000s. We might.
I don't know, because you'll get all the lives, so those at least will be there. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, let's
do it.
If
that's not enough, we could do all right. Actually, how about the following? I think this will work. You have to draft either only AL cards or only NL cards, but we'll let you pick which.
But there's some teams that people might not be familiar with that they don't know if they're AL or NL, like older teams. Let's go with your 2000s or later. I like that.
All right.
Okay. So if you guys want to get into the bounty, it is double elimination ID 140. We're only going to give out 5 packs, whoever knocks us out of the tournament. And then you'll get the 3 in-game packs if you win the tournament. So we're just giving out 5 here. ID 140. ID 140. Let's put that in the chat. ID 140. There we go.
Yeah, so make it pretty easy this week.
So we'll wait for that to fill up. Tesweegi says he can't load drafts.
Well, you know what? If we're having trouble loading still, what we could do is we could just switch the order around. Like we could maybe, maybe do the trivia first and then see if we want to use
No,
the
it's
bounty after
full.
or something.
It's full. We
All
got
right.
a full tournament.
If it loaded, then let's draft while we got it loaded.
Okay, yeah. Let's make sure that the draft, you could enter the draft. Let's make sure that we can actually draft.
Hopefully,
okay.
Yeah.
So again, you have to draft players from 2000 onward. Ooh, thank you for that little update there. And as someone mentioned, if you can't, if you don't have any choices there, you're going to have to bench the players. You're going to have to put them on reserve list. But I think you should be pretty good. I think we should have people from 2000 onward. All right. A lot of the cards, you might have to open up the profile or just hover over it, and it will show you the year. So we've got Bryce Harper, 2022. And Randy Johnson
eligible? He might be eligible. I don't know.
Yep. Kim.
Oh, it's a Diamondbacks Johnson, so he should be eligible, right?
Yeah. Kim, Tejada. Yeah, if you just hover over the card, it will show you the year. Trout, Mike Adams. So we got a few choices.
I think to stay thematic, we should take the PT Elite card for sure.
Well, considering, yeah, you had his live card in the meta, this one's got to be even better. Is that the Elite you were talking about, Kim?
Yeah, and then what do you think? We could do Trout, or we could do Randy, or who else can we do? Probably those look like the two eligible. They're both pretty good, or Harper.
Yeah,
but
or Harper. Let's go Randy. Let's make sure we get a decent pitcher.
All right.
Let's go Randy, because it is double elimination and best of three.
You want to just get a good. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, the year 2000's okay. Anything 2000 and beyond qualifies. So when we look over your roster, if you have anyone that's not 2000 or later, we're gonna disqualify you if you haven't benched your players. All right. Next up, again, double elimination. So the team that defeats us and knocks us out of the tournament, not the team that beats us first, but team that defeats us. Okay, lots of options here.
Well, we got a new card, so I think we always like taking the new cards, right?
Tribute to the new card,
yeah,
Lane Thomas. And who else do you like?
What do you think?
Korea with his rabbit.
Boone, I think would be eligible. I was trying. Is that Boone eligible? Otherwise, Springer and Bryant both have pretty good bats.
Boone is 2001. So you want to go with Brett Boone?
Either I'd say him or Bryant or Springer. Any of them. Who do you like?
All right, I like Bryant. Let's go Bryant.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully we can get another diamond pitcher here. We got Joe Thatcher's eligible.
Okay,
future legends, future
I'm
legends.
Definitely happy with Thatcher. Get a really good bullpen arm.
Future legends count because they're players from the current era. So yeah,
that's
future
right.
legends are good.
That Koski probably would be eligible. We don't have that many options, right?
Vaughn Hayes is not. Dotel is.
I'm guessing Koski is, though.
Koski is 2001.
Yeah, so maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, it has to be either Dotel or Koski. So I think we go Koski. Okay, we got two there. Kennedy. But we have Kim.
I love that Schwarber.
Oh yeah, let's go Schwarber and Montgomery.
I kind of like Colson Montgomery just for the bat. We got some second basemen anyway.
JT Snow got pretty good eye. All right, let's go Montgomery and Schwarber.
We need a little bit of pitching if we can find it, but
it won't be Lady Baldwin.
No, we have no pitchers we can take this round. It's probably just Stanton and Pierce then, right?
Yep.
That's about all we got that looks.
All right. We might be forced to take some live pictures here if we don't get some. Charles Johnson qualifies.
Yeah, Koji does. So our bullpen's going to be pretty good. We just haven't found any starters yet.
Johnson and Koji. Okay. Well, we got some future legends. Ryan Nelson.
Yeah, I think we got to do that because we need a starter.
Yeah, gotta. I'm glad we took Randy when we did.
Yeah, I think that was a good call on your part because I think otherwise we would have been really stuck here.
I think our only choices are Castillo or Caminero. Or, of course, Cruz.
Or Diaz if you want a backup catcher.
Sure, let's grab them. Two future legends. Ortiz?
Yeah, I think Ortiz and Zavala are those even the only two available.
Flanagan, 1 year off. Come on, Spore, 1 year off.
Probably Zavala, right?
Zavala, yeah.
No, Flanagan.
Right,
I would have thought Flanagan would have missed by a couple decades or something.
Well, Ian Desmond probably. We kind of need one more outfielder.
Yeah, unless we can find a pitcher. That Ryan Roberts is pretty good.
Josh Reddick or Roberts? Roberts?
Yeah, Roberts is pretty good. We are desperately short of pitching. I think we need to take almost nothing but pitchers from here.
We got to take some live pitchers. Ray Ordonez, though. Oh, 1 year off.
I like Alex Reyes. That's one.
Yep. Beltre.
How many pitchers? We only have 4 pitchers so far. So I think we need to take nothing but pitchers the rest of the way.
Okay.
So maybe we got live Rogers.
Yeah. We need to make sure we get at least one more starter. All right. I think we're going to take some live pitchers here. I think those Craig
Breslow's going to count. And Syndergaard is really bad. So I'm guessing Jay Jackson will be better, but let's take a look.
I think he is a little bit. It's going to give up some home runs though.
I mean, there are enough off days in double elimination that we might be able to get by with 10 or 11 pitchers if you find something you really want.
What about Gibalt? Who do you like better? The more well-rounded or the higher BABIP?
Yeah, maybe Gibo is better, but then again, Jay Jackson is a Blue Jay.
Okay. So, a man of my own heart. There you go. We're going to take Jackson. Okay, we would have got.
Sometimes you just got to do it, right? I don't suppose we can sneak Dink onto the roster, huh?
Just be happy we didn't get a George Brett selection, okay?
That's true. That's true. We might not have been able to contain chat.
All right.
Carl Edwards has a pretty good set of ratings for a live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Last round, we've got 10 pitchers, double elimination. We might get an off day, so maybe one pitcher, unless you want to go with 10. At least
one. Normally, we would grab 2, but if you see somebody you really like that's a non-pitcher,
Well, we've got 3 options.
I don't see much that looks unmissable here. So I think Jake Walsh looks fine. Foster looks fine. So maybe it's just Walsh and Foster, and then we have the 12 we were hoping for.
Well, let's make sure do we have a backup second baseman and shortstop though? Roberts back.
We've got to be able to. Roberts plays kind of everything. Kim plays everything. I'm guessing we're actually going to start Kim at short and start Roberts maybe at second.
Unless we take one pitcher and we just take this guy to back up everything.
You can do that if you want. I think we're going to be okay, but but also with the off days, we could probably get by with 11 instead of 12.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
So.
Okay. Well, we managed to have a full roster. We got lucky and we had every round. So that worked out nice. Years 2000 or later. And now we just got to go and micromanage a little bit. Try 4-man and hope we get an off day here or there.
Sounds about right.
So, Koji and Thatcher, you want them in middle relief used more often, or keep them set up closer?
I think you could do it either way, but you definitely want them pitching the key innings.
Yeah. Okay, let's put them used more often. I hate really good pitchers that don't get utilized. So this might get them more utilized. Swerzik, that's good. Okay, good. Let's go back in and put our strategy in.
Yeah, I think we did all right.
We didn't get a lot of, huge names other than the first couple rounds. Like, not that I would consider meta, but yeah, we did all right, I think. We got a full roster. Any slight change you want to make here based on who we drafted?
Let's see. Not too much. I mean, I would love you to set intentional walk to 0, because here's the problem is when you intentionally walk somebody, they have a really high on base percentage.
Right. I'll go with you on this one. Oh, and here's a good, I know there's a few beginners in the chat, or beginning players in the chat. And Charles, often when OOTP has a sale, whether it's over Easter or summer, World Series, Christmas, we get an influx of new people into the community. And I see that all the time, three or four times a year. So with that Christmas sale that's still going on for the game, there's a bunch of new people like Music Lessons. Music Lessons says he just started playing the game and he won his very first choice pack recently. So congratulations. Congrats. And I'm glad that, myself and Warbot and other streamers out there are giving you some useful tips and helping you along. But sometimes there might be new people watching today. And one thing I saw you do on a stream recently was talk a little bit about, in modern era, using opener lineups. And I think it's important, maybe we just quickly do that with this tournament to show people what you mean there. So on the left-hand side, in global strategy, go to use openers, crank it up just to make sure that you want to use it.
Well, if we want to run, you want us to run an opener as well? You want to try both?
Yeah.
Sure, let's try both. Okay, so first off, let's explain what's going on with openers. Okay. There are two reasons. So in real Major League Baseball, the reason people run openers is a little bit different. It's because they're trying to kind of get a decent reliever against the top of the order, because that's kind of the best part of the order, and then let the starter come in afterward. You only want the starter to pitch fewer innings. Here, though, there's a little bit of an extra game, which is you can often use this to get matchups. So like if you go to our lineups, you'll see that we might be platooning some places. So we might be running different lineups, sometimes versus lefties and versus righties. In a draft tournament, I'm not sure how often we're going to do that. But actually, if you go to our lineups, let's just illustrate, because we should actually be doing something a little bit different. Because if you look at Steve Pearce has enormous splits. So we want Steve Pearce clobbering lefties for us at first base. But maybe against righties, we'd rather run Ortiz. Right? So you're trying to get a platoon advantage. So the trick you could run is you could say, okay, well, what if I use an opener who's a righty? So that'll get our lineup against righties and all the lefties in there. But then kind of as soon as they face the few batters that they have to, we're going to replace them with a lefty. And now kind of we're the ones that get the good matchups instead. So that's kind of the trick that people are using for openers in OOTP. And the way you would do that is in our pitching, if we want to run an opener. So let's pick somebody that we think has big splits, that maybe we want to give a little bit of help to. So Randy Johnson, maybe he's good enough. We don't need to get him all that much help. He's just good against everybody. But maybe that Ryan Nelson, let's see, I don't remember that card, if he has splits. Well, we could try it with him. Okay, sure. So Ryan Nelson's better against righties than he is against lefties. So how do we get right-handed players in the game? Well, the way we get righties in the game is we throw a left-handed opener. So for Ryan Nelson, if that's the one we want to do, first we'll go to Ryan Nelson settings, and there will be a box in there that says follower, and we just check that box, use him as a follower. Okay. Now we're going to go back into our pitcher and look at our bullpen, and we're going to set an opener to, and it better be a lefty. We probably don't want to burn Thatcher in that role, so probably it should be Breslow. Now, one thing to be aware of, if Breslow is tired, because Ryan Nelson is set to a follower, our AI manager is still going to run an opener, but they're just going to put some other reliever in. So you could tell it that, you know, several people are allowed to be openers. You could allow Thatcher and Breslow to be an opener, and that way one of them is probably available. But then you don't get to control which one the AI puts in, and you would actually rather the AI use Breslow. Alternatively, you might find that just sometimes they're going to use a righty opener because the AI doesn't really understand the lefty-righty aspect of this.
Okay, I just want to exit out because it looks like the tournament is fired off, and I want to make sure we didn't lose anything here. So, yeah, we've got 14 minutes till the first sim. And let's see if it lets me in. Looks like it is. So, yeah, that's also something. If you're a new player and you're making changes after you draft, it might not take your changes once the tournament fires off. If you're still in your setup mode, you need to exit out, go back into the game once it's fired off, and you got like 14 minutes to kind of fix things up. So here we go. Yep. We do have our follower in. We've got both our openers, so our strategies were saved. Excellent. Okay. Next.
Okay, so that's what we want to do on our end to run an opener. That's the way we do it. And that's what's going to happen. Now, you could also ask, well, how do you respond to openers? Because, you know, really, if I have my choice, knowing that the other team might run an opener sometimes, if they use a lefty opener and then have a righty follower, well, I don't want to put all my lefties in the game just for those first three hitters. So I want to set different, I want to actually tell it the lineup to run against an opener. So the first thing we have to do is go to our global strategy.
Okay, first, before we do that, again, I'm gonna bring it down to my kind of level and someone that's not really used to a lot of openers. So you mentioned the case of Pierce and David Ortiz. So let's say we want to fool the other manager, and we want this guy starting against righties. So what they'll do is they'll put in a lefty opener, which will automatically, if we don't do anything else, is going to start our left-handed lineup. And then after
our lineup against lefties, because it just looks and says, oh, there's a left-handed pitcher going out and warming up. We're going to put our reverse lefty lineup on the lineup card.
Right. And then they yank their opener. They put in a righty follower, which is going to probably pitch most of the game then. And so therefore, Steve Pierce is going up against the righty who he performs worse against. That's the goal, is to fool the other manager. And what Charles is going to show you now is how to counteract that, how to prevent the other manager from fooling you.
Right. So there are two ways that you can try to counter this. The first thing is, so first off, we're going to set opener lineups. That at least gives us some control.
So you have to go to your global strategies, and you have to make sure that there's a default.
Something froze on this end. So are you still able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to assume it's working. So go to the global strategy, and there's a box at the top left there that says, which you can set to use opener lineups. And what that says is that if they throw an opener.
Oh, Charles just got booted. What's going on in Philadelphia? All right, he'll be back. So I'll lead you through this. So it defaults automatically to no opener lineups. If you're using opener pitchers and you're using opener lineups against opposing opener pitchers, you have to go manually, go to your global strategies and say use opener lineups. Okay. always, if you're using an opener follower, you probably want to crank this up too, just to make sure the game says, okay, yeah, lap, okay. We know you want us to use openers. So I usually crank that up as well. All right.
Hold that again.
Yeah, the chat's going.
All right, are we back?
The chat's going. Was Charles an opener for you? Maybe he got booted. He got pulled. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think maybe the trouble's on your end there, but we'll plug our way through it.
I think it might be. I'm traveling, so I'm on a different internet connection than at home.
Okay. All right. So we went.
Basically, okay. You got to open our lineups. Once that happens, now if you go to the lineups tab, you're going to see that there's a tab that now pops up that says opener lineups. And if you click on that, you can tell it what lineups you want. Now, there's an important trick here you need to know about. You see what that says on the left is lineup versus right-handed pitcher opener. They are talking about the hand that the opener throws with, not the hand the follower throws with. They're just talking about the person that's on the lineup card who goes out there to throw the first pitch of the first inning. If that's a righty, this is the lineup you're going to use. So if you think the other person is throwing a righty opener, but a lefty follower, the lineup you want in that box is your lineup against a left-handed pitcher, not your lineup against a right-handed pitcher. And similarly, for the opposite box, for the left-handed opener, you want your lineup against righties, not your lineup against lefties. Okay. So that's the opposite of what
the opposite of what they're showing then, Charles?
Well, it's the opposite, assuming that you think a right-handed opener is going to be followed by a left-handed follower. Because that's the other trick. So the other trick is you don't know what the follower is going to be. We could, if we wanted to, we could have set a right-handed opener and a right-handed follower. Now, normally that wouldn't be a very clever thing to do because a right-handed opener is going to get people, if nobody bothered setting opener lineups, and a lot of people don't, a right-handed opener is going to get our versus righty lineup. And so if you follow it with another righty, you haven't gained anything. But some people, when they see that you're kind of setting opener lineups, they'll start playing these other games, and it just becomes a little bit of a guessing game. So there are two other things that you can try if you want to kind of handle this without having to play the guessing game. One thing you can do is if you go back to the overall strategy settings, you see right now it says use pinch hitters. And where's the starting defensive substitutions in pinch hitters? Basically, you can have it start making substitutions kind of earlier, right? For the defensive substitute, yeah, there is. So if we were to pinch hit starting in the third inning, then if we guess the follower wrong, we're still going to put pinch hitters in the game. You want to be a little bit careful with that because if you're using everybody on your roster all the time, they're going to get tired pretty quickly, but that's another way to handle it. The second thing we can do is you can try to handle it by having opener lineups that sort of are a mixture of versus lefties and versus righties and just kind of saying, look, I'm going to put a mixture of the two in there. I'm not going to get the perfect lineup in every time, but I'm also not going to get the worst possible lineup either. And I'm just going to kind of aim for a middle path. So there are other things you could try, but the first thing that, the first thing I would try if you're just kind of starting to play around with it is if it's a lefty opener, guess that it's going to be a righty follower and put your left-handed hitters in. If it's a righty opener, guess it's going to be a left-handed follower and put your right-handed hitters in. And there's one last thing that we can do to punish people just a little bit for trying it. So you see we've just pasted our default lineups, right? But you could switch them around. So like look at our lineup right now versus right-handed openers. That's really our lineup that has all the righties because we think it's a lefty follower, right? But there's still one or two left-handed hitters in that lineup. We could move them to the top. Let our left-handed hitters bat like 1, 2, and 3 against that opener, followed by all the people that clobber lefties, and get one extra good matchup. So you can kind of play as many of these games as you want, but the main point is use these opener lineups, and you can kind of give it instructions for what happens if an opener gets out there on the mound. That's the important thing.
All right, I like it. So just to review, because lefty, righty, pitcher, batter, pitcher, batter. So you see on my screen now it says for B lineup versus left-handed plus DH opener. So when I go to custom lineups, I want to choose the same handedness, left-handed pitchers and DH, right?
Yes,
correct?
Because you're expecting that lefty is going to be followed by, against left-handed openers. No, against a left-handed opener, you want your lineup against righties.
Okay, so I want to pace lineup versus
expecting that the left-handed opener will be followed by a right-handed follower. So you want your lineup against righties.
Okay, and right-handed opener, I want my left-handed.
You want your lineup against lefties because you're expecting he's going to be followed by a lefty.
Okay.
And again, the more actively you do this, there are going to be other things you can do to try to optimize that little bit more. But the first guess is probably going to be this.
Okay. And then I want my, against the right-handed opener, I want some lefty bats at the top that you can try. And against the left-handed opener, I want some righty bats at the top.
Yeah, I might even do that because normally I want my lineup that clobbers righties, but I know at least the first three hitters are going to get to face that lefty opener because you're required to face at least three hitters when you come in the ballgame.
Right. So there you go. This is something that a lot of new players and even veterans and intermediate players will miss. I missed it for a long time. Remember that this is only in modern era. So if you're playing an older tournament era, you're not going to have this option because they didn't use openers back then. And I don't know, Charles, did they have this in OOTP23?
Yep. Yeah, they've had versions of this for a while.
Okay.
Yep, it's just kind of a game. It's kind of a little mini game that you can end up playing and try to get slightly better matchups.
Okay. And I know Chess, thanks Chess for trying to help people out in. Oh, just one sec. Chess is trying to help people out that are having some difficulties. One thing you can do, I can't do it on this screen because I'm in a tournament, but if you go to your gear in your league play, click on the little gear button, and somewhere over on the right-hand side, it's going to be something like delete all PT files, which is a good way to kind of clear the cache of your PT. That's usually one thing that works, and then exit out and restart up OOTP. And often that's going to fix things more than not. All right, Charles, yeah, anything else to add?
Yeah, so I think one last thing I was going to mention, if you're going to sort of play these opener games, as much as you can try to get an advantage from them and all that, you should be aware that you're using your bullpen a little bit more often than you would if you didn't run an opener. For example, you're never going to get a complete game, right? But often they're still going to pull your pitcher in the 6th or 7th inning to try to go to the, if it's a close game, to try to go to the, the good part of your bullpen. And because that's true, if you use openers, once or twice through the order, maybe it's okay. But if you end up like using an opener for every single starter, you probably need one extra arm in the bullpen in order to make that work.
Right, which we didn't have.
Just be a little careful with fatigue if you're going to run openers a lot.
Makes sense. The other thing I want to ask you about using openers and followers. So we've got Ryan Nelson as a follower. So if I go to his strategy, because he's a follower, does the game treat him as a reliever and I want to crank up and keep him in the game a little longer if it's a good follower?
I haven't had a lot of success getting the game to really handle followers well that way. You can try it. It would still be the starter box because it treats the follower as a starter. So it would use the hook as, see how it says starter/follower? So it would still be the hook as a starter. But I haven't had a lot of success getting the hook settings to actually work the way I want them to.
Okay. All right. And the other thing for beginners too, that Charles sometimes recommends in different situations is the batters faced and the relief pitchers bench when fatigue. Maybe just quickly, Charles, for the beginners out there, kind of a quick 1-minute summary on when and why they should change those numbers.
So generally, my default setting is just going to be around 80%. And the idea is two things. First off, at every level of everything in OOTP, a tired player is much, much worse than a player who isn't fatigued. So 80% is kind of the point where usually if you give them an off day as soon as they get below 80, usually they'll be back to fully fit for the next game. So that's probably the main thing. And then one other wrinkle you could try is with your opener. If you're going to run an opener, really we want our opener out of the game as quickly as possible, right? So you could say that the opener is only allowed to face 3 hitters. Now, the problem with that is you're going to have a lot of short stints. And this is something where OOTP actually does a good job of mirroring real life. So the thing is, in real life, it's not just about the number of pitches you throw. You know, I've been a reliever, as a reliever, most of the pitches I throw are not the ones when I come in the ball game, right? It's the fact that I'm fully getting loose, fully warming up. In the bullpen, I'm throwing a bunch of pitches hard to make sure that I'm really ready. And so even if I kind of fully warm up and only throw 1 or 2 pitches, I still feel the effect of that the next day. And the same is true in OOTP. Pitching 2 days in a row, even if it's only 1 or 2 pitches, still ends up being a bit of a problem. So if you're going to keep running sort of 3 batters faced, you're going to have it's the same problem. You're going to have more bullpen fatigue. So you're going to need to run more arms in return. So that's kind of going to be the trick here.
Right. Izadov was saying, except for global relief pitch count, that applies to followers.
Okay. Yeah. If you're using the global, yes, if you're using the global settings, that's right. I'm usually setting pitch count individually if I'm doing it.
Right. Okay, well, our first game is in, so let's take a quick peek here. Again, this is best of 3, or this is double elimination. We were up against Sporer in round 1. Well, we took care of Sporer today, 7-0. Ooh, and I think
the lesson there is you don't need to run an opener for Randy Johnson. Just go let him pitch.
9 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks.
I think that's the takeaway, right?
I think that's the takeaway is if you get Randy Johnson in a double elimination first round, maybe take him, maybe just take him. And usually I'm on the opposite end of when I play Sporer, but today, at least for the first game, we were able to Randy Johnson him out. So let's see who we had going for him. Okay. This gold pitcher. Yeah. Randy's 9 times out of 10 going to beat this gold pitcher here. So Sporer in it. He's over on the B side now. And is this the new Christian Walker? Yes. This is the new Christian Walker that he's running. All right. Well, that means we get to stay on the A side. We get a bye, which is going to help our pitching. The Cannons, the Cavapads, the Spudders, the Turts, Ezra Denny's Starfleet, the Heat, who said they had another good team this draft. So Reb said, Lap, I think I drafted another good team. And we have the Gorillas. So yeah, we get a bye. Now, again, recommendations for beginners. If you win your first game in a double elimination, anything you should be changing if you won the first game?
I don't think too much. I mean, it means, the bye is going to be really nice because it's friendly if you didn't set your depth chart very well or you didn't have enough backups. An off day fixes everything, right? Because an off day, everybody gets to rest. Like in our case, really, if we had immediately been in the losers bracket and we were going to have to play, 10 days in a row in order to have a shot to win the tournament, a 4-man rotation would have been really tough to make that work, because we are going to have to play every single day, and it's modern, so 4 starters is not enough. Randy Johnson threw how many pitches? He threw a complete game, so he must have thrown 117. Yeah. So he's not going to come back every 4th day and do that. But the fact that we got an off day means he is going to be able to come back on full rest now, and we're never going to have to use a 5th starter. So that's maybe more of the advantage is, because we probably drafted ourselves a little bit shorthanded in the bullpen, we were forced to hope we were going to get an off day, or have someone like Randy Johnson come in and throw a complete game so our bullpen's completely fresh. And fortunately, that happened.
And now he, rather than waiting 5 days, he may be back on 4, maybe 3 if we get another
he'll still
bye.
have to wait 5 days, but the idea is because we don't have to play every day, we're not going to have to use 4 more starters in between. We're going to have to use at most 3 more, right?
Right.
Because we got the off day.
So good chance he's going to get another chance to pitch. So yeah, that is the double elimination underway. All right. Okay. Well, let's leave that, Charles. It's gonna take a while for the double elimination to come in. Again, 5 packs for the team that defeats us. Congratulations to Gabagoo Luigi on the pregame show for guessing the limited edition card, the Mike Queller card that came out, the gold Baltimore Orioles Queller, and there was also the Mark Eichhorn, the community card from request from Boiled Egg 1974 and Fussmucker that came out. Well,
well done.
Yeah, well done. Let's check if they've got an update on Spotlight packs. I don't know if you were able to get in, but they do have the form.
Just getting in and downloading the card database. Missions worked. I've not looked at spotlights, but I assume there will be a spotlight because there's something like that every week.
Yeah, here it is right here. So I'll put it on the big screen here. Spotlight packs are 45,000 perfect points today, and they will have a gold guaranteed. Usually they're silver guarantees. This will be a gold guaranteed from Negro League 4, Baseball Reference 4, Part 4, PT Elite, Part 2 or Part 3. And again, no live cards in these Spotlight packs.
Part 2 or Part 3 is Part 1, then these 30 individual missions. Is that what they mean? Because I thought there were only 2 packable sets.
Yeah, I think, there were only 2. So I think it's just the packable cards that.
Okay, so it's the 2 packable.
Yeah. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 perfects at just under 1% odds. Again, you're the math guy in terms of EV on this. 45,000, pretty hefty. But there are some pretty good cards in the perfect cards that you can pull.
Yeah, I can't imagine that those are going to be worth 45,000 in value, just given kind of where they're at in the missions. But I'd have to look. I did hear that 1 or 2 of the missions might have a bottleneck with 1 very expensive card, and so it's possible that the 1 expensive card will be enough to hold some value. I think if we ask Izadafo, he's got kind of a calculator that could do this pretty quickly. And otherwise, I can try to set something up in the background, but I don't have it on this machine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We do have spotlights that are there, and of course, one of us or both of us will open a spotlight pack at the end of the show, as we always do after we play our 9-inning baseball game of opening packs. And we're going to play some trivia after the next break. We're going to get our trivia underway, so stay tuned. In about 15 minutes, we're going to go and play our trivia. And just checking the OOTP Twitter site here, see if anything's announced. Doesn't look like it. So that's good. We already went through our beginners section there. And earlier on the pre-TWIP show, we did give out, Warbot, your recommendations for Live Daily, the open Live Daily that runs. And we showed the cards for pitchers, for hitters, lefty and righty. And also
that one's a very Petco specific selection.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Petco Park specialty. for live players. And
unless you're a team that plays in Petco, you might want to go with the other one.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, well, let's go over a couple cards. Were you able to get the card list downloaded?
Just grabbing it now. Yeah, I should have it in like half a minute.
Okay. So this was, we had 10 packable cards. We had 6 mission cards, one for each of the divisions in baseball. And, my lock pick was Kevin Gaussman, but there was no Blue Jay. So I'm going to take that as a push. What sport is that where there's a push in things? That's blackjack.
There was no Blue Jay.
Yeah, there was no Blue Jay. So next Blue Jay, PT Elite. Lock it in, Kevin Gaussman. Spore is crossing it off his list now, going, all right, Lap, we're going to mess with you. It's Chris Bassett. Okay, so let's go through a couple of the cards, starting with, I think, the only iron that was in the set today. And this was the Bellow card. Again, silver. I don't play silver tournaments. Probably won't this cycle. Might try him in the next game, but low silver, lots of control. Where does he fit on a low silver team?
I think he's going to be a little bit behind Phil Hughes as another high control guy, is what it looks like to me. And so my guess is he won't quite play low silver. But I love seeing, we actually got a Red Sox. There's a Red Sox player that's considered, I mean, I really cannot complain about that, right?
Oh, look at that beautiful Red Sox on the purple neon background.
Yeah.
Did you watch him? Did you watch him at all?
Red Sox card that we're saying is elite. How can we be upset with that?
That's right. You'll take that as a victory.
I will absolutely take that as a victory. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play the card, but just the fact that we've got a Red Sox from last season that, somebody outside of Boston actually is willing to call elite. I think that qualifies as a victory, doesn't it?
I think it does, yes. Before we go to the next card, just bringing up the bounty once again, we are on to the second round. We have a second round opponent now, and that is going to be the Cannons run by Wild Zombie. And let's take a look at who we're going to have to face in terms of the pitching. We're sending out our follower or our opener follower combination, and they are sending out. Okay.
Now, I guess, in fact, we should ask an important question then, which is, do they have opener lineups set? Have they been listening to us, and have they set opener lineups? Because they know exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to find out. They do not have opener lineups set. So we're going to give them a warning. You should set your opener lineups.
Well, we're playing Sandy Koufax. I mean, look at they got Roy Halladay, 2010. Oh, they're disqualified. This is not a 1980s.
Well, in that case, don't tell them we're running openers. Maybe we can sneak one by them.
Oh, Cannons. If you're listening, Cannons, you got to bench a couple of these players here because they do not qualify for the bounty claim. They have to be cards 2000 or later. And you can easily check that by just going to default. And then you'll see a section here with all the years. It looks like Jack Morris, Gary Lavelle, Sandy Koufax. So there's 3 pitchers there in your and then in terms of your batters, oh yeah. Now, to be fair, there was one team entered in the tournament before I joined. So this could be one of the early entrants, and that's probably what it is. So we may have to take a loss to the Cannons, but it's only our first loss, so they wouldn't get to claim the bounty anyway. So hopefully there's not.
Come on, it's only Sandy Koufax. I mean, we can hit him, right? We've got Steve Pierce to hit those lefties.
Well, okay. That being said, if you think we're going to lose this game, do we save some of our hitters from getting tired, or are we not worry about it?
We're not going to lose. Come on. We can hit Sandy Koufax, right?
Okay, you heard it here, folks. Charles said that sending out a follower combination, opener combination of, who is it? Is our opener Breslow
I mean, okay.
and
Look, all right.
Nelson?
This is just, look, all right. I'm just going to ask. There you go. Can you bet on Sandy Koufax with channel points? Sure. We're just going to ask chat, who do you think is better, Sandy Koufax or Ryan Nelson? Chat's with me on this one, right?
Are you talking card art? Because Koufax wins that one as well. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. The pads going up against the Spudders, the Turks and FFB, the Heat and the Gorillas. And then the B side are waiting on the losers here to see who they play. Okay. Maybe we can pull it off. Maybe. Next up, let's go to our gold card, and that is PT Elite Michael. Low gold. Again, I do play some gold. I kind of like the Babbitt, but there are so many good gold pitchers for gold tournaments that for me, I don't think cracks it, but I don't play low gold. So let us know if he kind of fits in the low gold area.
Yeah. So I guess he's got, I'm just looking, he's got almost solely just P Babbitt. But he does have those reverse splits also a bit, which is kind of going to be nice if anyone's, for the same matchup games we were talking about. But I think you're right. I think there's probably just not enough there to be competitive. There are cards that have kind of similar P Babbitt and just a lot more ratings at this point.
All right. Chicago Cub fans out there, as in Cub fan Steve, you've got a Nico card ready to enter the game. And I did see some oohs and ahs when this one showed up. Probably not oohs and ahs from Charles because of that power and eye. I know Charles likes the power and eye.
The ooh you're going to get out of me is looking at that eye. Ooh is definitely part of my reaction.
Don't say the second part of your reaction. All right. So is there, for any kind of situation, is there a way Nico Horner gets into any lineup? Again, we've got so many good gold cards. It's really tough to break into the meta. So double position, maybe if he had a little bit more range, he could back up shortstop. What do you think about?
I think you could have tried to make a version of Nico that played like 6 or 7 positions, and that would have had a little bit better chance. But I think just there are too many really strong middle infielders in gold where the glove is still good, but the bat's better. I don't think this card's going to get on base enough to justify it.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's go on to the next one. We'll do a couple more before our break, and then we'll play a little trivia. Luke Rayleigh, Tampa Bay Rays fans, D-King 395, big fan of the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, the eye, you're going to go ooh something, but the power, you might go ooh la la.
So I think the issue is that at 90, you're now up against cards that have sort of so much in the way of power. I'm trying to be able to share these cards. I'm having problems kind of getting stuff to load well here because it sort of keeps crashing on me. I don't know if you have a way of showing cards.
No, I mean, just mention the cards. I think chat, can look them up if they want. Well, again, we're having some tech difficulties both on our end and on
so for example, like if you look at, for example, Kevin Mitchell is a 90 overall, that we just got sort of in these baseball reference sets. And that's a card that has like 155 power and 95 eye. And, still, if you're thinking about it from a singles point of view, the contact rating on that card's about 110. So he's going to both get more hits, and then also walk a lot more and hit more home runs. So I think a card like that's just going to be a lot better. And for this card to really be one I'd want to play, he'd have to then be an elite defender, but he's not an elite defender, right? He allowed to play center, but he's not a good center fielder.
Right.
So I think it's just a fair bit behind some of these Baseball Reference bats that came out.
Before we get too far into the gold or into the diamond, let's go back to the gold again, because we did have this community card released, Mark Eichhorn. I think it's probably a card you're probably going to say, you know what, he is very splitty, yeah, but there's a lot of right-handed bats in gold that are going to be tamed a little bit of them. Now, I know there's the issue of, will OOTP handle it properly, like you would want it to be handled in game? But do you have a spot for Mark Eichhorn in your gold lineups?
I have a silly idea.
Opener?
So first off, as probably is clear from looking at the card, I have this as the best reliever in gold against right-handed hitters by quite a bit. And completely unplayable if you have to face a mixture of lefties and righties.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I wonder, he does have 29 stamina. He does have 3 pitches. I wonder if you could try to run this card as a follower and get him out of the game after, a maximum 18 hitters, but hopefully quicker than that. I wonder if you could get 4 innings out of him as a follower and try to kind of manipulate it so that he gets in against righties. If you could do that, that's a really interesting card. Otherwise, there are just too many of these lefties that clobber righties in gold right now to kind of want to run it. But it would be one to play around with. See if you can find a way to make him face righties, because if you can, he's going to be excellent.
Yeah. And I'm definitely, I hope I pull him. I'm going to put him into my gold lineup, try him out, try and find a way to maximize his potential against the righties. Mark Eichhorn in the game, again, not in spotlight packs. Mark Eichhorn is just kind of a regular card, doesn't fit the theme for today with the PT Elite. It's just something we're trying to do on the pre-game show with some community releases. All right, quick break here, Charles. When we come back, it's trivia time. Get your brain firing. We're back in 2 minutes. All right, we are back. And Charles, before we get into some trivia here, people are itching to try and win some packs. What
I see
just happened?
we did okay against Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, 7-0 in the first game, which I understand. It's Randy Johnson. 13-0.
It's a good start. You know what? This might be as far as we've gotten in a bounty draft.
Absolutely. At least lately. At least with you. I want to put that caveat on it because I've kind of made the finals a couple of times, but hey, that's just fluke, probably fluke. 13 runs. Well, we got 8 in the 9th inning because we said you're not a legit team. We want to crush you. So yeah, we didn't take any mercy. But folks, when Charles gave you the advice of using openers, Joe Thatcher came in, pitched 2 innings of scoreless ball, 1 strikeout, no walks, and that really messed up the minds of this other team. And then we said who was better. He finished off the game giving up 6 hits, and a guy named Sandy Koufax gave up 4 runs, including 2 homers. What's going on, Charles?
I told you, you just got to have faith in our hitters, right?
There's faith, and then there's faith.
It might not happen if we played that game over and over, but we got it once. That's the important one.
We haven't talked about this card yet that came out today, but he looks pretty good in the 2 games that he's played.
Yeah.
Lane Thomas. Wow. So that means we get another break, I guess. We get another bye, and even better, Randy Johnson's probably going to be able to come into the next game. He's at 40th. Well, maybe not quite. I think
he's gonna miss our 3rd, but he'll definitely be able to pitch our 4th game.
So he will get at least 1 more pitching opportunity as we beat the Cannons, and now we go up against not Cava, which I was hoping to go up against Cava, fellow Canadian. We're going to be going up against the Spudders. Dogberry Spudders, and Dogberry was in the chat, so I'm pretty sure Dogberry has a compliant team, but let's just take a look at those Spudders quickly. Wichita Falls. Lynn Nomo. Does Nomo qualify? Yeah, he does. He pitched in early. Reyes, Ray, and Gill. So yeah, I don't see any names on there that are before 2000. Look at the years here. Yep. Looks pretty good there. Let's take a look at the Spudders hitters, although no one can beat our hitters, right? 2000s, yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh, they have Lane Thomas too. It's Thomas versus Thomas.
So that Votto, by the way, is a good example of one where he's often a platoon card. And so you might want to, if we're going to throw a righty and you can find any way to convince the opponents to take Votto out of the lineup, it's worth it.
Ooh, do we try and do a sneak play and throw in an opener against Votto?
I think he's going to probably be in a problem. Is in a draft, probably Votto is just playing against everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Let's take a look at the Spudders here. Let's see if they got Votto on both ends of the spectrum here. Spudders. Votto, yeah, they got him hitting second. So either way, and we've got a righty starting. So unfortunately, he hits righties better. So, but either way, he's going to be in the game, even if we changed it to a lefty. So, all right. Well, we will see how that shapes up. We got a bye coming up as the B side has to play. But yeah, that had to show that after the break because I did not see that coming. Extra innings, yeah, maybe I could see us winning in extra innings, but 13-0. Really, what's going on? Chad, how you guys doing? Are you finishing missions? Is all the sync errors fixed up? We having any issues?
It just goes to show you that sometimes even if you have the weaker team, you can blow out your opponent. I mean, like occasionally you could have a much better hockey team and you could just go on the road and have an off night and lose 5-2. These things happen.
Well, in this case, though, Sandy Koufax won in the case of that hockey game. All right, Charles, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about the things they have to do if they want to enter our trivia contest?
Should be real easy. All you got to do, you mouse over the screen on the right, you'll see it says Quiz Kit. Click on that, go to Manage Access, make it so that they can see your username, and that way you can win some packs if you do well.
So what do you want to do, first and second or first and last?
I'll let you pick this week.
All right, let's do first and last. Let's do first and last. Let's give the losers a chance to win some packs.
All right, and we do have a mystery theme as well that we can.
Yeah, first person to guess what the mystery theme is gets to decide our mystery number in our pack pulling contest, and they get to decide who has home field. We'll give you a little bit of a perk there. I know it's not packs, but hey, at least you have some power in our 9-inning game a little bit later. Okay, let's bring it up. We've got 16 questions for you guys today. Again, there is a theme. And once you think you know their theme, just put it in the chat. And Charles, hopefully you're watching, because I'm watching many things here over here.
All right.
Okay. One of these times we're going to do it.
We'll start a little bit easier this week. You know, last week we might have gone a little bit overboard. So, you know. All
right. So the rules should be showing up on your screen any second here for those of you that are playing the game for the first time. The quicker you ring in could reward you or could punish you. If you're right, you get extra points, 15,000 maximum. If you're wrong, you could lose 15,000 points. So keep that in mind. If you're confident of your answer, absolutely answer it. But sometimes leaving it and getting a 0 is actually a benefit, because those that get it wrong are going to drop below you on the leaderboard. Okay.
All right.
Let's do this. First question.
All right. Hopefully we'll start a little easier this week. Who is the, and we can work on the theme as we go, who is the only player to win a Cy Young Award with a losing record?
Winning a Cy Young Award with a losing record. Okay. DeGrom, Hernandez, Davis, or Gagne? All right. Burner guy's making a statement. He's saying, hey, I'm the joke guy around here. Watch your toes, Razor. Okay, answers are in.
Yep.
And the answer, 6 people got it correct. Kind of a one that might fool people, because you don't think of closers as Cy Young winners.
No, Felix was close. DeGrom was pretty close. You know, because it's really only recently the voters have stopped looking at the win-loss record so much.
All right. Well, let's see who our 6 lucky people were so far. Contestant 199, you need to go to that quiz kit icon and allow it permissions to use your Twitch name so we know who you are. Lord Christic, Chess Safari, Rich Rocks, and contestant 117 are top 5. Remember, we're awarding packs for the top score and the worst score. And believe me, sometimes it's harder getting the worst score.
Can be.
Okay, question 2.
All right. Who has the most career WAR in an Expos uniform? So I'm guessing this is a player that we may have talked about on this stream at one point, once or twice.
Dawson, Wallach, Carter, or Reigns? The most career WAR in an Expos uniform. So not their entire career, just as an Expo.
Yeah, I guess all these players also played elsewhere. Or did Reigns actually play elsewhere? Or was he only an Expo?
Yeah. Was he on the White Sox?
He must have played elsewhere. I'm blanking on where, though.
The theme is not high-low. Nope. The theme is not losers. No. Well, Mr. Audit, you're kind of close. Kind of close. Kind of. In a roundabout sort of way. All right. It was
Was
Mr.
Gary
Carter.
Carter.
And yeah, Tim Raines played on the A's and of course the Yankees, which is why you probably forgot about that. Tim Wallach, though, where did Tim Wallach play other than the Expos?
Trying to
I wonder.
remember.
Chat, let us know where else Tim Wallach played. The theme, Cava, is not close
I thought he
seconds.
played, was it LA maybe at the end of his career? I seem to remember him in LA.
Dodgers, yes. Boiled Egg says the Dodgers.
Oh, okay. Dodgers and Angels, apparently.
Mr. Audit, Dave Steeb question coming. He's still stuck on the loser questions here. Come on, guys. Come on.
All right.
Go watch the movie Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Next question.
All right. And good. This question should still be true. Which of these players has a card in PT24?
All right. Who has a card? Is it Jimmy Ray Hart, Jim Ray Hart, Kevin Hart, Bo Hart, or Corey Hart? Or wear my sunglasses. Okay. Speaking of glasses,
audio question, right?
Yeah. You catch those glasses EVC wore the other day on his stream for New Year's? Those were smoking. EVC is no George Brett, though. Okay. Answers are in?
Yep.
Wow, this was an easy one.
All right. We did well with this one then.
Although 6 people went with Corey Hart, probably going for the losing part of the question. Are you old enough to remember Sunglasses at Night?
Yep.
Yeah. Probably the only song he's known for. That and Never Surrender. Those Canadians out there will remember Corey Hart, the heartthrob for many, many, many in the 1980s. Sunglasses at Night and Never Surrender. That's about it.
So I see Mr. Odd is not going for last this time.
Yeah, no,
or
Mr. Odd
he's really not doing well.
He is a top scorer right now. How about his brother? Get ready to drink up, Boiled Egg. Synchronicity. We got the brother bookends, Mr. Audit and Rob Deere in Headlight. So apparently we know which of the two is better at Trivia Pursuit. Okay.
Possibly. Oh, I see Blutster's saying, no, if you want to play, you can still play. You can still jump in from here. We're not that far in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there have been people that have got the last 3 questions and they won the game. You can get in, just jump in. Just make sure you hit that quiz kid icon on the far right side.
Yep.
Okay, question number 4.
All right. Despite his nickname, who actually had only one season in the top 5 and hit by pitches, was for the Giants at age 33 and was actually the first full season of his career. So late bloomer, I guess.
Drysdale, Magley, Blackwell, or Larry Jansen? Giants question for Ezra there. Ezra's all over this. Yep. I expect if Ezra's in the chat, he's going to get 14,000 points on this one. Do you know the time period? Is this the 50s, 60s?
Sorry, I was trying to figure out. I was trying to help because Blutzer was saying it wasn't popping up.
Oh, yeah. We'll pause for a sec. It happens once in a while that if it's not popping up for you, you need to actually refresh your Twitch browser. That works 90% of the time. If it doesn't, log out of Twitch and back in, and that fixes it 99% of the time.
Yeah, but this would have been around 1950, I guess, was the season I was talking about. He appeared in 1945, and then, for part of a season, then sort of disappeared for a while. And I actually don't know I'm looking at the story. Oh, because he was actually banned from baseball between 1945 and 1950.
Oh, what was he banned from baseball for?
Okay.
Wonder.
So he attended spring training in 1946, got offered a big contract to play in the Mexican League, decided to do it and make some money on the side. And then the commissioner banned him, and he played for the Puebla Parrots.
Wow. There you go. I haven't heard that on Ezra's stream yet. Maybe he has mentioned that, but Sal Magley, a great bronze
played
pitcher.
for a barnstorming team, and then finally the ban got lifted, and he was allowed to play again in 1950.
Okay, good to know. Mr. Audit still in the lead. Sean Saul and Lord Christic in second and third place right now. And yeah, Blue, I'm not sure, because if you go to your Twitch screen with your mouse and you just take it over to the right-hand side, you should see a little tiny box that says Quiz Kit. It's really tiny. And you click that, and you should allow permissions to use your Twitch name.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cubs fan. His lifetime ban ended in 1949.
Oh, so this question would have been
guesses. We're still getting some guesses on the theme, but I don't think it's been hit yet.
Yeah, try to reboot and Blue. All right, next question.
All right. What Canadian catcher spent 8 years out of the majors after accidentally being claimed by the Washington Senators, returning after serving in the U.S. Marine Corps? Yeah, apparently it really is the case that the Washington Senators claimed him and were like, "Whoops, we didn't mean to do that."
All right. No, it is not Giants-Dodgers rivalries. It is not close shaves. It is not band players. It is not a Canadian theme. Getting some good guesses, though. All right. Is it Kotaris, Owens, Gibson, or Jay Clark? Answers are in. And it was not one of the Georges. Not players who had gaps in their service time. Good guess, though.
That would be a good one, yeah.
Would be a good guess. Canadian wrestlers? Nope. Not Canadian wrestlers. It took me a while to figure this one out, too. I messaged Charles and said, "Charles, what's the theme?" And he had to give me a couple hints before I got it. All right, Charles, one more question, then we need to take a break. Then we'll look at a couple more cards.
All right, this one was kind of fun. What batting champion played every position in a single season? So we know we had one or two of these cards, like Shane Halter, that even done it in one game.
All right, yeah, Shane Halter, the card that Izadafo likes.
I don't think the question popped up yet, though. Did you?
Yeah, no, it should be there.
There it is.
Was it Oscar Charleston, King Kelly, Willie Nelson? No, Willie Wilson, or Cal McVeigh? Played every position in a single season.
Can you elaborate on the accidentally being claimed? So basically, he was awarded to the Senators off waivers, and then they basically said, like, "Well, we don't want him." See if I can find more.
The key is batting champion, because there might be a couple players that played all the positions, but the key there is batting champion.
Yep.
Oh, Charles, you did not fool many people on this one. Holy smokes.
Very well done by chat there. That nice.
Even the people going
like
for
basically the Senators had no interest in him. They tried to undo their waiver claim. American League President Van Johnson said, "Nope, you're stuck with him." And so they basically sold him off to a minor league team.
And here's a case of why sometimes it's tough finishing last, because Rob Deere in Headlights was doing so well, and then he got over 14,000 points on this one because he chose the correct answer. So Lord Christic has moved into first, And in last is Adolfo is in last place. All right, Charles, we're going to
first then this week.
No, unless he wants to make a run. He wants to be the comeback kid and say, okay, 6 questions are done. I'm going to show these guys. I'm going to win this thing. All right, we're back after the break in 2 minutes. We'll look at some more cards, and then we will continue.
We'll be back with a Tigers question.
Only one? What are you talking about? All right, we're back and we're here to talk PT Elite. Warbots with me here on this Thursday, spending some time in the United States of America. So finally, we're on a closer time clock compared to usual weeks. And we've got this Brian Abreu card that's next up on our list. Pitcher, obviously not a starter. You're going to use him in the bullpen. Again, BABIP looks pretty good. Low diamond. Control would worry me, but of course, relievers always generally have lower control.
He has impeccable control. He hits people right where he's trying to hit them.
And a little bit splitty as well. So anything you want to mention about this Abreu card?
Sorry, are you able to hear me? I'm guessing this is on my end that the connection's not great. Is that
I
right?
can hear you, chat. Chat, can you hear Charles? I can hear him fine.
Okay, it sounds like the connection is not so good. Yeah, I think this is just kind of another one probably where it's a little bit understated compared with some of the things that have come out recently. We've just had this enormous jump in the power level. And so I think this is probably a little bit behind that jump. On the other hand, I suspect, based on all these recent cards, that we're about to have some tournaments that maybe focus on these PT Elite cards or some modern things. And there, it's more likely you'd want to play a card like this.
All right. And yeah, that news should be coming tomorrow. Spora will be doing a special OOTP broadcast. Not sure if it's on the OOTP channel or his own channel, where he'll be going through the next PTCS. I'm sure the rules and criteria and settings and all that kind of stuff. Sometime tomorrow, you can expect that. Okay, we got to go take a look at the bounty because we're in a situation here, Charles.
Uh-oh.
We are on the brink. We lost our game 3 to this team here, the Wichita Falls Spudders. And now we're going up against a team we haven't come up across. I don't know if ever we've come across the Washington Park Rangers, mentioned them quite a bit, but now we're going up against them. And I think Randy Johnson, is on the mound.
Yeah, so Sean, the good news is we desperately need a win, and we got Randy Johnson going. So it's win day,
Yes, Sean Sultan, we apologize that we are going up against this guy here with his 21.6 ERA. It'll probably be pretty close, and you might pull a Koufax on us and be able to defeat Randy Johnson. So good luck, Sean Sultan. Winner moves on. The loser is eliminated, and then we would go on and play probably the winner of Terts and SFB. I'm thinking that's what our next matchup will be. All right, we'll go back to the cards, and when the sim comes in, we'll update you guys how the bounty is going. Again, just 5 packs for whoever eliminates us from the tournament today. Next up, we got another low diamond. Let's actually skip ahead a little bit. Let's go to this one here, the catcher. Rio Muto. Now, I heard a lot of people in chat during Dish's stream going, oh, if you want defensive meta, now it's Rio Muto and the other guy that came out recently, McCann. I know you like McCann. You're using him in perfect
It's a lot of defense. The bat, is pretty far behind some of the really good bats at low diamond catcher. And the defense is the best low diamond defender we've got available, I think. Maybe I can see maybe Bob Boone's about as good, but the bat here is better than Boone. So I think in a modern era where you're focusing on defense, this might be the card you want to run. But this is one where I suspect different managers are going to do different things because the stats that come out of catching and kind of trying to track how useful it is in OOTP don't seem to actually reflect what's going on all that well. So there's a lot of kind of guesswork in figuring out how important catcher defense is. And that's the biggest value of this card is all that catcher defense. I think I'm going to try running him, but I think there are going to be a bunch of strong managers that won't run him also.
Now, when you say you're going to try running him, you mean in perfect league or just in diamond tournaments?
No, just versus lefties in low diamond, I mean.
Okay, in low diamond. All right. Well, the sim came in from our last bounty game, so we got to show that.
All right. How'd Randy do?
Well, he didn't blow them out, but we were able to win 4-2. So this is a good old-fashioned baseball game where Sean Sull came back in the 7th and 8th, scored a run in each inning, but Randy went the distance for the second time, giving up only 6 hits. And player of the game. So loving the choice of taking Randy Johnson in the first round. And so far it's working out. And in the A side, one semifinal matchup are the Spudders, who beat us in the first game. And then the Houston Heat, Reb Jr., who again, he called it. He called his shot and said, Lap, I've got a good team. And in the other semifinal, it's us against this other older streamer you might be familiar with, Ezra Denny. We are going up
heard of him.
Shirts. Yeah. And he won his elimination game 1-0. Wow. So he barely squeaked in there. So now we're going up against them. And I think we play in 6 minutes because I don't think there's going to be a bye here. We've got Trevor Rogers scheduled to go as our other pitchers are tired. So not looking too good as we have our number 4 guy going. And Ezra's got,
Yep.
well, it's not the Clayton I thought we were going to get, but it's still a much better pitcher than we're sending out there. And it's 67%. Oh, yeah, he's played so many games with his 4-man rotation. He has no rested starter.
Well, that maybe gives us a shot then.
And I'm just looking if he has anyone at 100%. Ray King. Send him out, Ezra. Ray King for the win. Yeah, that's the only player
Ray King is what we hope our team's going to be doing.
So I'd give it even odds. Our bad starter against their depleted bullpen or depleted pitching staff. Our hitters are all okay. And for Starfleet, they're pretty good too. Only a couple players that are a little bit tired. So it could go either way. So good luck, Ezra. If you win, you got the 5 packs that you get to open up on stream. And if we happen to win, then we have to take on the loser from the A side. Maybe we'll get our revenge against the team.
But we can't lose to a fellow streamer, right? That would be bad. We got to win this one.
Well, we can't send Randy out every single game, and we can't play Sandy every game. So
that's true.
I'm hoping. Well, I hope we win so that we take on either this really good Houston Heat team or we get revenge against the Spudders. We'll find out in about 5 minutes. Let's do a couple more cards and then we'll get back to the trivia.
All right.
And here we go. All right, Christian Walker. Not our first Christian Walker card. Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, first base is always a tough position to knock out of the meta. This is low diamond, though, so does that help him?
Well, it's easier to compete in low diamond. I think the problem is Willie McCovey's really, really good. Willie McCovey, is close to being the best hitter just playing in diamond and is a low diamond. So I think I'm still probably just going to want to run Willie McCovey.
Didn't a certain co-host of yours use Willie McCovey in a recent invitational championship victory?
I don't remember.
Huh. I don't know. That might be from last year. I just seen that.
I have no idea what you could possibly be talking about. Okay. I will say if you're willing to run an extra spot, then Christian Walker's very good against lefties. And so you might well want to platoon him at first. At the moment, there kind of for a while, there weren't a lot of lefties at all, even in diamond, and especially not in low diamond. It was kind of mostly, just Pettit. Or then just Justin Steele. So I don't think there are quite enough lefties to want to do it. But if you get a couple more lefties, then this is a card that you might want to spend a spot to platoon because he does hit lefties well.
Okay. Yeah. So Christian Walker, one of the packables in the game right now. Maybe we'll pull him on stream. Now I saw a lot of Seattle Mariner fans out there. We got IBDB2U. We've got Jeff Steele Flex. We got a lot of people that really love the Seattle Mariners. They're probably my second favorite American League team after Toronto, simply because of the proximity. This George Kirby card, again, a lot of jokes and fun about the one knuckleball that he has. I mean, this guy.
I wonder what that'll end up doing. I don't think I want him throwing it very often.
Well, yeah, and I don't see many pitchers that have 7 pitchers on their card, and we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitches that he can throw. I don't know how that plays in. I know if you move him to the bullpen, they take his best 2, so probably his sinker or his slider and his fastball. But in terms of diamond play, does George Kirby make your starting 5 in diamond?
I don't think so, because I think in diamond, just the hitters are so good. It's hard to get away without at least one of homer suppression and pitcher BABIP, if not both. You know, there's so many of these big home run hitters that came in that you either have to be able to keep down the home runs, or you have to have such good pitcher BABIP and control that they're all solo shots. There is one thing, though, that I would think about here. One of the things that kind of we've been playing with in league is realizing that pitch around is maybe a little bit more powerful than we thought. And maybe this is a card where if you certainly if I'm going to run him, I would max pitch around. It might be worth checking whether you can get enough out of doing that to kind of make this work. But I think it's unlikely. I think it's likely that he just needs more of at least either homer suppression or pitcher BABIP as well.
What about bullpen usage? Is this a card that you could use in your bullpen?
I don't think he's going to get enough of a stuff boost. So I think but also right now in full diamond, a lot of the top bullpen arms are actually better than the starters. So you're not running a ton of converted starters anyway.
Right. So there you go, chat. If you're going to use George Kirby, max his pitch around because of that control. Have some fun with
actually,
that.
Yeah, maybe that's, sorry, I found the comparison I should do. Let me see if I can actually get this to pop up. I think that's the easiest way to kind of show.
While you're doing that, I'll address Brent's question. Brent, when you take a starting pitcher and you move him into the bullpen role, they get a couple of things happen with that card. One is they get stuff boost, which means whatever the stuff is on the card, usually that gets a boost. We don't know how much. And the second thing is that usually they only rely on their top 2 pitches. So this guy here who has 7 or 8 pitches, they're only going to utilize his top 2 and not go through the knuckleball and all those other lower rated pitches. So sometimes if you have a starting pitcher with low stuff, but good everything else in the modern era, maybe they work better in the bullpen because they get that stuff boost. So they make them kind of a better pitcher as a bullpen player. And
I
Charles,
think there is a calculator that's out there for kind of how much of a stuff boost you'll get. And you can sometimes see this in tournament formats. If you try moving a relief pitcher into the starting role, you'll sometimes see how much stuff they lose when you do it. So you can kind of work it out from there. But here's the card. I think I got this to work now. There we go. I just want to show you a card for comparison to give you an idea of kind of where, what do I mean when I say a card is understated, right? What I basically mean is
it's not showing, Charles. I don't see it sharing. So
all right, one more try. Hold on.
Give it one more try. And yeah, we are having some tech issues. Charles is not streaming from his usual location today, so he's on a little bit of different Wi-Fi and internet. Who is the card you're referring to?
I got it to work. I wanted to just show you another PT Elite card for comparison.
Okay.
Which is this Zach Eflin. And like Kirby, Eflin has impeccable control. But you see he has that same control, and then he just has more of the other ratings.
Yep,
and
I can
so that
see why
means if you ever had to decide, should I run Eflin or should I run Kirby, you're just always going to run Eflin because you're just getting all the extra stuff for free.
Yeah, but does he have a knuckleball?
He has 6 pitches, but no knuckleball.
Oh.
So he's missing the knuckleball.
Okay, no, that's a great comparison. So right now for your high diamond kind of elite pitchers, while they don't have to be elite cards, but I would think Oral Hershiser, the 97, I would still think is in your top 5, right?
I don't think so. He's not in my top 5 anymore, but what I have right now in high diamond is I have about 10 pitchers that are all within like a tenth of a run of each other. So you could almost pick your favorite 5 or so from those 10, and it's not going to make that big of a difference because they're all pretty close.
So there's no runaway top diamond pitcher right now?
No, it's actually, you have a lot of different choices. And so often I'm making the choice based on something else. Maybe it's based on stamina. I just want the ones of those 10 that are going to go deeper into games or something like that.
Or
Or,
ballpark.
now that we have Scooble and Reagans, maybe it's that I want to pick the lefties and, kind of play that kind of game.
Good to know. And how about in the bullpen for High Diamond? Is there a runaway bullpen guy?
Yeah, in the bullpen, I think Tanner Scott, who's even a low diamond, is kind of, I've got as the runaway best option. And then there's the Baseball Reference Rosenthal, Bednar, Quad, Devine, Thatcher, or kind of would all be up there. But I've got Scott a decent amount above the others.
Okay. And Chesafari's asking, Cliff Lee is probably one of the 10 in that group of 10.
I've got Cliff Lee as one of the 10 or so.
Okay.
But yeah, so that in some order, it's going to be like Reagan, Scooble, Jose Fernandez, Pedro, Corbin Burns, Jason Schmidt, the PT Elite, Webb and Eflin, Spud Chandler, Hershiser, Cliff Lee. I think you could almost pick names out of a hat from those, and they'd be pretty close to each other. But one or the other might be better in your situation. Either there's an eligibility thing, or in a cap, for example. In a cap, I'm either going to run the cards with very high stamina so that I don't have to get into the back end of the bullpen, or I'm going to pick the cards like Reagan's, who's 96 instead of Jose Fernandez, who's 99, to save 3 points.
Charles,
so for example,
smart.
the one I'm running in the most caps is Logan Webb, because he's both 96 and has 113 stamina. So, if I'm giving up 3/100ths of a run by running Logan Webb instead of Jose Fernandez, I'm kind of okay with that, because it gives me 3 more points and less bullpen usage to use the rest of the roster.
That's what I love, is because, I probably would never have thought about the stamina issue in the cap, that you want high stamina guys to avoid those 40 level cards that you're running out of the bullpen. Yep. So, yeah.
And yeah, Isidafo mentions a few other names. Yeah, Castillo, Palmer, McLean. I think they're all close enough together that you're going to end up picking your favorites out of those.
Okay. One more. Let's finish off the packable cards, and then we're going to take a look at the bounty, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll finish the trivia. So Johan Duran, now we don't have a diamond. We don't have that elite diamond player, but I would think he makes your, I don't know, what kind of roster does he make? Are you trying him out in Perfect League?
I'm definitely not going to. I think the one reason you would think about it is because he's a righty that has these huge reverse splits, and that makes it interesting. Like a righty that can get lefties out, and a righty that people will actually pinch hit lefties and sort of hurt themselves against a little bit is nice. But I think he's probably still too far behind, some of the top relief options. That would be my guess. But maybe it does depend on the matchups a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing if I can run. Yeah, no, I'm having trouble finding a way to quite use him.
Just kind of on that outside edge then. But again, you could experiment because of those reverse splits. Could be an interesting card to experiment in. But
yeah,
in Perfect League,
reverse splits would be the one thing that would make you think about doing it. But I just don't trust my manager enough to want to do that.
Yeah, especially if you're in Perfect League, you don't want to gamble too much.
No, but also just there are cards that have enough just extra stats that I'd rather kind of just take the cards with extra stats instead of focusing on the matchup.
And Rivera is still by far the highest end reliever in Perfect.
Yep, definitely go for Rivera.
Okay. Well, how about an update on the bounty, Charles? Let me just tell you, it was a 15-12 game. So if I would have told you that they scored 12 runs on us, Ezra scored 12 runs on us, you probably thought we would have got beat. We scored 15.
Nice.
It
Probably
went
12
extra innings.
too.
Yeah, it went extra innings. We scored 4 in the 11th. Guys were celebrating. Randy Johnson was smiling, but then Ezra tied it with 4 in the bottom of the 11th. And then we score 3 in the top of the 12th, and Ezra does not get any. So a lot of pitchers being used in that game. Ezra used 3, 6, 8, 9 pitchers. And again, he already had a tired staff. We had 7 different pitchers used, and your call of Carl Edwards Jr. might be the game saver because he came on for the win. Your call of Colson Montgomery.
Do we have any pitching left?
I don't want to look, Charles.
We should probably take a quick look at that.
Don't make me look.
Let's take a quick look. You want us to take a quick look at our staff?
We go up against Reb Jr., and it looks like we have 100% Ryan Nelson. And opener-wise, can't be Thatcher.
We have an opener available, but this is the kind of situation where, you might have considered just saying the bullpen's tired. I'm not going to run an opener because running an opener uses up one of our only 2 healthy arms. So maybe... Well, you would have to, if you do it that way, you have to also set Nelson not to be a follower. That's the important one. I think we're probably going to miss the sim deadline on this, so we're going to end up just running it and seeing how it goes.
Let's see if we got it in time. The winner will go on and face the Spudders in the finals. Charles, we do have some reason to celebrate because this is definitely the furthest we have made it on the HAWC Report in the Bounty Tournament.
Third place still gets a medal, right?
Well, no. We don't get packs either. It's either first or second for packs. We're going up against this Eovaldi card. The sim is in. Let's see.
We just, you know what? If the bats do their job, we can get away with anything pitching wise. If we put up another 15 runs, we're going to win this game. Ooh. Close.
Words cannot express how close we were. Houston.
I'm guessing we ran out of pitching. I'm guessing they did not throw just our 2 healthy arms. I'm guessing we threw more than 3 pitches in there.
Well, it did take the we did get it in time.
Yeah,
maybe we should have.
What happened was we had 2 healthy arm. We had 2 rested arms, and the key runs were given up by the 3rd one. So we just ran out. If we needed one more pitcher in the draft, probably. But that was a good run.
So our good friend Randy Johnson will not get a chance to shine in the finals. And congratulations to Reb and the Houston Heat, who take the bounty claim today and the 5 packs that go with it. And now Reb can gain another 3 packs just by winning the tournament over the Spudders, who they just faced off against. And they lost that semifinal by a score of 6-4. So 2 pretty evenly matched teams going up against the finals in a best of 3. Good luck to both of you guys, Spudders and Heat. May the best team win. And Charles, again, I'm happy with that. We made it pretty far.
Yeah, and that's a good result for us. I think we'll take it.
I think if we did it again, we'd try and squeeze one more pitcher in there. I think that was the issue. All right, where are we now? Yeah, let's go and finish off the trivia.
And definitely draft Randy Johnson again.
Yes. Oh, every day. Randy Johnson. But I like the theme. I like the fact that we were able to get enough cards and everyone else was able to get the cards. We got 2 teams that followed the rules. So Spudders and Heat, good luck in the finals. Well, before we bring up the next question, people might be getting back to their device and getting all ready to put their answers in. I think we're on question 7, is it?
We did promise a Tigers question. We gave the teaser, so we're on the Tigers question.
Okay, fire away.
And we're still looking for a theme here. All right, here we go. We did promise a Tigers question. there are a few Tigers in the game. So according to the last 10, as of when we looked at this yesterday, who was the most expensive left-handed Detroit Tiger in Perfect Team? Got to be a left-hander. Left-handed Tiger, most expensive in Perfect Team.
Mickey C, Hell N, the Elite, Skabal, or Mickey. Baseball Reference 4. Most expensive on the card shop, last 10 value as of yesterday.
Left-hander. I'm guessing this is still true today, but because last 10s move around enough that you can never quite be sure, right?
I thought we'd get a few more for Miggy than we actually did, but that
people knew that Miggy was right-handed.
Oh, yes. I think people might have just saw
Miggy.
Miggy.
If you want to get it wrong, because he's not a lefty.
Well, Rob Deer and Headlights, if you're still going for the bottom, you got that one right. You were the quickest to ring in there, as well as your brother and Sporer were quick to ring in. Lord Christic, Mr. Audit, and the Hauler are our top 3 so far. All right, let's go a little quicker pace here, Charles. Next up.
All right. Who had the first hit in World Series history, which was one of a still record 4 triples?
Ginger Beaumont, Fred Clark, Honus, Wagner, or Tommy Leach. And the trivia theme is not New York. Nope. And we need you to be specific because some of you were close, but you weren't specific enough. Especially early on. One person was almost had to award them the answer, but
that's
just not specific enough. All right, here we go. Answers are in, and 5 people were able to get this one right.
What is Tommy Leach, who has a couple good Perfect Team cards?
And look at that. Rob Deer and Headlights was first answer in. That might take him out of contention of the worst score. Let's take a look at the totals. Mr. Audit back in first. Is Adolfo still in last? Rob Deer is moving up quickly with almost 30,000 points in the last 2 questions. Nope, not players released by the Yankees, although there is a certain theme team that kind of has that.
Would be thematic, but Gagne never played in New York, right? Gagne was the first one.
Right. Okay, let's fire away.
All right, how about a question about Steve Howe? Now, Steve Howe did have a little bit of a checkered career. How many times was he suspended by Major League Baseball?
Was it 3, 5, 7, or 9? Pick your favorite odd number there. How many times did he get suspended?
So Chess Safari does not players who never played in the World Series, because the previous question was about hitting a bunch of triples in the World Series.
Yeah, no, that was not the theme. Although with the Expo questions, yeah, that would have been tying in with that. Never making the World Series. Okay, answers are in. Pretty split amongst the chat in terms of the right selection here. But of course, the answer was number 7. That's a lot of suspensions. 7.
That is a lot of suspensions.
Wonder how long the longest one was. Like, was it more than like half a year?
Let's see if I can find it. He eventually was just suspended indefinitely, I think.
Spore was the quickest to ring in on that one, followed by Zuckus and Lord Christic. Not enough for Lord Christic to take over the overall lead, though. Still less than 1,000 points behind Mr. Audit for first place. Okay, question 10. All
right. Well, I just had to look this one up because I was curious, because we have a Dad Clark card. What was Dad's actual first name?
Daddy? No. Was it William? Dad? Henry, or John? Three very traditional names in there. It is not, the theme is not players who got suspended, although we have had a few questions in there that have dealt with that.
Although Lap, I think, has told me that the theme maybe should have been all suspended, right?
Yes. Yes. That was my first guess when I looked it over last night. I thought, okay, it's everyone that's got suspended at some point, but nope. No, it was not Dadothi Spore. It was William. Although John and Henry
but he
got
was
a few
probably
choices.
that.
Yes. I wonder if he was, because he was like a father figure to the players or something like that. I wonder where he got the nickname Dad.
That's a good question. See if I can find anything. I'm not finding anything on it.
Still within 400 points, Lord Christic and Mr. Audit, Razors hanging in there, Cedarites, the Hauler, Sean Saul, still within striking distance. Still a few questions to go. Next up.
All right. Here we go. Recent one. Who was traded by the Padres to Atlanta this past December along with Matt Carpenter?
Ken Murphy, David Fletcher, Ray Kerr, or Marco Gonzalez?
Okay, Spore is saying his nickname was just because he looked older.
Oh, really? Okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
In that case, I'd be Grandpa. Grandpa Hound. Have you ever had facial hair, Charles?
No, I should do the playoff beard thing.
You should. Well, your team has to make the playoffs, though, right?
Yeah, there is that detail.
That's probably why you never had facial hair, because you couldn't grow it back in the 1980s when they were actually good. All right.
No. When I was a kid, they'd make the playoffs every year and then lose to the Devils.
Bad team, Charles. Bad team. All right, answers are in. Ray Kerr is your answer, and Razor was the quickest to ring in on that one. Boiled egg, come on, man. Jurassic Lap, now you're going too far. Grandpa Lap I can take, but Jurassic? I don't know, what's the older age, Mesozoic or Paleozoic, or you must know your science.
Yeah.
What's older than Jurassic?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff, but I mean, these go all the way back, right, to the earliest.
Yeah. Big Bang. No, that's George Brett, apparently, according to OOTP. All right. Total scores. Mr. Audit in first place. Healthy lead now, 10,000 points over Lord Christic and Isadolfo and Landis. Although Rob Deere is making a run. Now again with a few questions in a row wrong. Triassic.
EBC's in, who we are going to have to give credit to in a little bit, possibly. We'll see how people do on the theme guess.
Primordial Lap? I think that's Cava, right? Primordial Cava. Primordial Com. There we go. Okay, next up.
Here we go. How about what Boston Americans shortstop led the league in D-WAR in addition to having 5 offensive WAR in 1903? See if this helps anybody with the theme a little bit.
Nap Lajoie, Lou Cigar, no. Krieger, Bobby Wallace, or Freddie Parent, English, French.
I don't know.
Question 12 of 16. Answers are in. People with nicknames that are relatives. No.
No, but the nickname is important. I think for figuring out the theme, you probably want to think about that barber earlier. That fits the theme pretty well.
Hey, Charles, what is this, Christmas? Come on now. Easy on the hints. We got 4
All
questions
right.
to go. All right, scores are in. Mondella with the highest score. Sean Saul, number 2 on that question. Mr. Audit, and now Cedarites and Razor and Sean have jumped over the Lord and moved into the top 4. All right.
Cochrane and Gagne were both answers, and they also do both fit the theme. All right,
Okay.
should we keep going?
Next up. Yeah.
All right. Whose career was prematurely cut short when he disappeared after being accused of murder?
Ooh. Bud Galvin, Ugueth Urbina, Elmer Smith, great 2-way diamond card, or Dave Brown. Ouch. Accused of murder, but probably was never convicted of murder?
Well,
did they ever find him?
Date of death in Wikipedia is just listed as a date of disappearance instead of a date of death. But there's a researcher more recently that found he kind of managed to live on the West Coast till the early 80s.
Where, of Argentina?
No, like in California. He just changed his name, moved to California, stayed under the radar.
He went by Dave Gray. That fools him. All right. Answers are in. 10 people got the right answer here. And with 3 questions to go, we have Mr. Audit, 6,000 point lead over Sean Soul. And at the bottom is Adolfo with about a 30,000 point lead over Landis with 3 questions to go. 45,000 points still up for grabs.
All
Fire
right.
away.
We're going to give you one last question to guess the theme. And if we can't guess the theme after that, we'll have to give some hints. Okay. But this next question is closely related to the theme. And it's actually about soccer or football. All right. Should we do it? Until a 2021 rule change in a knockout tie between 2 teams, if Team F won 4-1 at home and Team O won 5-2 at home, what would be the result?
Wow. This is in baseball or football?
No. So it's a soccer question. That's right.
Oh, soccer. Oh.
Yeah.
Will they play 2 more games? Will they play a third game?
Wins 5-2 at home. Who's the better team?
So it comes down to, do you get rewarded for allowing less goals or scoring more goals or something else?
Yep.
Or do you play another game? All right. Well, we got a lot of answers in here. No one said that they play 2 more games, which kind of makes sense. I mean, you don't want to have to play 2 more games.
Yep.
Why is it Team F?
Because it's considered harder to score on the road. Or they changed this recently, but basically they scored more goals away. So we know that in our hypothetical case, Team F is the winner of the home and home.
Team F,
that's what I'm saying.
Because they scored more goals away.
That's right.
Jeez. Most people would say Team A or Team B, but you are like Team F. Like, geez. No, it's not second chances.
Does that help anybody with the theme?
Players that were better on the road. All right.
Yeah, well, the F and O might stand for something,
Especially if you take a report card home to your parents. Next. Do you have the question or do I need to read it out?
I think you've got the question. I've got all the theme questions in. So if we can't guess the theme from here, we'll have to tell people at the end.
I think my questions fit in with the theme. At least one of them does.
Let's just go to yours then.
You got to be specific too, because a lot of you are really general, dancing around it. Okay, here we go. Question number 15. On Tuesday, Philadelphia played Edmonton in an NHL matchup. Who recorded 5 points in the game for the champion Edmonton Oilers? Was it Draisaitl, Nuge, Bouchard, or McDavid? Ooh.
I think we may have gotten a good theme guess in here now.
They're dancing all around it. They're really close, but they haven't directly.
I think EVC's got it. I think.
Yeah, I think ultimately we're going to have to give it to EVC, but he's got to get a dictionary or watch hockey or something. Okay, we're going to give it to EVC. EVC, go ahead and explain what the theme was, Charles, and then give some examples of how it fitted.
Yeah, well, these questions are all honoring some Flyers. So we've got, we got Gagne, we got Barber, Clark, Kelly, Cochran, Leach. We got Perrant. We needed a goon, so we got the Dave Brown question in there. We of course have Carter Hart, back to back.
Yeah. So there you go. A lot of the responses, a lot of the choices had last names of former Philadelphia Flyers players. Tim Kerr was in there as well. So yeah, I didn't get it at first, and then a couple clues after Charles nudged me on, it was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But again, it's the Philadelphia Flyers. Most of us, who cares, right? It's Philadelphia. Obvious. If he would have put like Gretzky and Messier, Fuhrer, it would have been obvious. But it's the Flyers. Well, Sean Soul has moved into first place with that last question, and Mr. Audit in second. We've got one question to go, but we have our last break coming up, Charles, and then we're going to open some packs. We're going to look at the 6 mission cards very quickly. So hang tight, guys. One more question to determine our winner and loser. All right, we are back. We are back. Still a few seconds to go in the break here, but we are going to be ready to fire off the last question, and then again we'll look at the remaining mission cards and see what Charles Model thinks about the 6 mission cards. Charles, were you able to auto complete all missions? Are they tough? Are they? You said there was some bottlenecks in some. Right?
I did, but I've heard that some of the missions are pretty tough.
Okay. So not an easy autocomplete like we've had with other missions in the past. You actually have to, is it mainly tournament cards, packable cards that you need, or a mixture of both?
I think it's a mixture. You have a choice. If you've completed all of the first set of missions, you have a choice between getting some of the new packables or getting some of the more difficult tournament cards. And you need some combination of them.
Okay. Well, let's go to our last question here. We got a tight race at the top of the leaderboard, and we already have the theme. So EBC is gonna determine who's the home and who's the away team. and pick the mystery number for our pack opening contest in a little bit. All right, gang, here we go. Last question. Good luck. Again, at the top, Sean Sol, Mr. Audit, and the Hauler all have a chance to win. And at the bottom, Isidafo and Landis are the only two that have a shot. And it is a baseball related question that does fit in with our theme.
All right.
Which former two-time Stanley Cup champion has a grandson playing in the Little League World Series?
Huh.
Who is it? Clark, Flett, Clement, or Selesky? I didn't know the
that's a good one.
Yeah. Thought we have to have a real tough one at the end to see who deserves it if it's a close race. What would you guess there, Charles?
I'm going to guess if it were Bobby Clark's grandson, he would have been thrown out of Little League. So it can't be Clark.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Not sure about the others, but I'm going to say it's not Clark.
Well, there was one individual that got this one right. So it's a strategic play on the top leaderboard. Did they leave it blank? Did they guess on it? It is actually Selesky that does have a grandson playing in the World Series. So final scores are in. And with a 1,500 point win, Mr. Audit claims victory. Congratulations, Mr. Audit. Rob Deere in Headlights was the only one to get that question right. So I guess it was a tough question. And not doing anything was the right call there, Mr. Audit. And at the bottom of the leaderboard, it is for less than 400 points. Isidafo. It's a good thing Isidafo didn't leave it at 0 because he would have lost. He rang in at the very last moment and got minus 1,394 points. Oh, so close. Sorry, guys, I don't have extra packs to give out today. If there was a time, it would be deserving to give second places, but I can't today. So Rob Deere in Headlights, only one to get that one right. And his brother, Mr. Audit, claims the bounty, and Isidafo on the other side claims the bounty. Good game. Good game. Okay. Well, Charles, thanks for another fun trivia. We'll do it again next week. Let's finish off by looking at the cards and then opening some packs. So let's talk about the mission cards.
All right.
And let's go like a minute and a half most. Let's fly through these. Julio Rodriguez.
We'll go real quick. Waiting to get to pop up. Here we go. Julio, I mean, I like the defense, but I just don't think there's enough bat there. So I'd rather play like the McCutcheon that we got last week.
Okay, simple enough. McCutcheon over McClanahan for the Rays.
Yeah, he looks really good. I think he might now be the top lefty just starter available. So I am going to try to run him in my rotation, but he did get absolutely lit up in his first start. So, take that for what you will. Oh,
so you got him playing in perfect league, do you?
Well, at least once. If he keeps doing this, he may not be there long.
Well, hey, we always tell people you got to give it a run for a while. You can't go in a short sample size, but in terms of starters, where do you have him? Like number 4 or 5? Like, is he bottom of your rotation?
No, I mean, I've got him actually just right at the top of the rotation, but like I said, we'll see how long he stays there.
Okay. EVC looks like he's got him in perfect league as well. So maybe while we're going to the next card, Do a quick search. Are you in Perfect League right now?
Yeah, let me see how many we got. Looks like
How
there
many?
are 14 that I see.
Okay. Next,
Mine is
Spencer.
doing the worst. So maybe he's fine.
Okay, yeah, yours is doing the worst. He'll recover, Charles. Again, you're going to do well in these next 3 weeks. Spencer Strider, is he one of these guys that sneaks in?
No, I don't think as much. I think Strider is kind of one where you get a little bit misled by all that stuff. But there's probably just not enough on the rest of the card. It's kind of missing both the homer suppression and the PBABIP. And you probably need at least one of them.
Okay, and so, I mean, when we look at McClanahan 109 and 103, Strider's 105 and 101. So there's not much of a difference, but in Perfect, it is a huge difference, like 3 or 4.
The way that the league engine seems to work is it's not, the important part isn't that it's 4 points. It's how big it is, what's the actual range that people are running in your league. So if people are running cards that are 50 points apart in PBABIP in your league, 4 points maybe isn't going to be so much. But if the entire league is running, only people between 105 and 114, let's say, then 4 points is actually a ton.
All right. And as you've mentioned previously, when you get stuff that's over a certain point, in this case, we have 179, it doesn't make as big of an impact as it would if it was, someone that was in the 140 or 130 range, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. A couple more to go. A catcher, and then the ultimates, Mookie Betts. Cole Reagan's 96 mission card. I know we looked at Contreras. Here's a pitcher. Diamond. I would think the stamina would be the big thing that I would kind of question, but otherwise, this looks like a solid diamond pitcher.
Yeah, I think he's just right in the same range as some of these other top diamond pitchers. I've got him very slightly at the top, but it's the top of a similar list. But the fact that he's also left-handed and most of the others are right-handed means that I'm probably going to be running him in most tournaments because it's hard to find lefties, and I want to find some lefties.
Okay. BBC says the only pitcher under 100 he's using right now is Halladay in Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. And a card we're not going to have to debate with chat much about in terms of the effectiveness. It's just a matter of right field, and we have so many good. We got Hank Aaron. We've got, I forget who else is out there, but we've got a lot of really solid outfielders now. Oscar Charleston's there. Al Kaline's there. Mookie Betts, is he now a must start in right field, or?
I think he's a must start in right field. I think he's actually a card that's even going to push Aaron out of my lineup in some cases.
Wow.
But actually, the fun thing about this card is I've had a lot of trouble finding a second base backup, and I've been, carrying an extra second baseman on the roster just to do that. Having Betts means he can be the second base backup. So he's actually going to play some second base for me.
Which, based on his stats here, is not, the range when you're in Perfect League, like you said, a few points here and there can make a difference, but that's not the primary position you're playing him in. So who do you have at second then? Who's the ultimate? Is it Semien?
I'm playing Semien. I'm going to mainly be starting Semien at second and Betts in right, but I'm actually carrying 7 outfielders on my roster right now. It kind of looks like a mess, and it's because Betts can play second and Aaron can play first and stuff like that.
So you are keeping Aaron just in a different position now.
He's on the roster, but he's actually not starting versus righties. He's only starting versus lefties at the moment.
So then I'm curious, who drops completely out of your 26 players when you bring in a guy like Mookie Betts? Who do you take out?
Well, that's what I was saying. I was trying to figure out who I could drop, and the card I ended up dropping was Cupid Childs because I had been keeping him just because I needed a second player who could play second base. And usually it's bad roster construction to have somebody where they're not starting either side. There should be something better to do, and I hadn't found one. So now this is a better way of using 14 position players.
And that totally makes sense. And how is your Mookie Betts doing in a small sample size?
Let me see. Mookie in 4 games has a 125 on base percentage. He's not doing well.
And how many people have him? Take a quick look how many Mookies there are. I'm going to guess 8.
It's definitely more than that. I have to count just because there are a couple different Mookies there.
Oh, right. Spore says 22. I forgot. Yeah, there's a couple hundred Mookies.
So I get 23 or 24, I think now. Yeah, they're pretty quickly. They're growing.
So that mission, people are having, I mean, we're still early in the day. People are at work, and we got, over 20 Mookie Betts in the game. So there are people that are making an effort to get Mookie Betts very quickly.
I think this is the one people are going to prioritize finishing.
Okay. So to be clear, with all the cards that came out today, you found 2. Is it just the 2, McClanahan and Betts, that have made it onto your perfect team roster?
Those are the 2 that are on my league roster. And then I'm definitely going to play Reagans and Contreras in tournaments.
All right. And EBC, you're in perfect as well. How many did you make? How many did you were you able to put on your roster? Was it 2? Was it 3? But there are going to be some perfect teams that probably going to get a boost with these cards that came out today. Okay. I think that pretty much does it. Again, there were 2 versions of Mookie Betts, so make sure that the one version you should be looking at. If you see 2 different screenshots, you want the one without the left field eligibility, because at first this showed the other one. This one here, this is the true Mookie Betts that you want to look for, or just go look in the card shop. That'll show you the accurate ratings. Charles, are you ready to open some packs?
Hopefully, if it's not going to crash on me, we'll try it.
EBC, who's home field? Do we give home field to Charles, or do you want to give home field to myself? And for those of you that don't know what we're doing, let me show you quickly. At the end of every stream, Charles and I have a little mini baseball game where we open up 1 pack each per inning. And based on the cards that we pull, we accumulate runs. So if we do happen to pull a perfect or the LE, which today was the Queller card, we get 7 points, 5 points for any diamond card we pull, 4 runs for a card from today, so any of the packable elite, 2 for a gold card, historical or live, and then 1 run for a mystery point. So EVC, what is the mystery number today?
Actually, you know what I'm going to suggest, if EVC is good with this, maybe in honor of EVC, instead of doing a mystery number, how about you get a bonus point for a Dodger?
For any Dodger, live or historical?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
But yeah, it's got to say Dodgers on the card, because what about if it's a Brooklyn Dodger? Does that count?
Yeah, I think that sounds fair. If it says Dodger on the card, so Brooklyn Dodger,
okay.
If it's a Dodger, it's a point.
Okay. Dodger on the card gets a free run for every Dodger. Now I'm going to have to really pay attention here, Warbot. You are the visiting team. EVC has been generous enough to give me home
saying,
field.
we got Superbas, Bridegroom. Okay, so anything, that franchise, if it's in the franchise,
okay,
we get our point.
So you'll have to help me with the old logos, because I'm not familiar with the Superbas or the Grooms. So,
all right, we ready?
Okay, fire yours up. 9 standard packs, inning number 1.
And I got nothing. No Dodgers, nothing.
Okay. Bring mine up here.
I guess we're going to send Fernando out to the mound here to try to keep the Dodgers away.
Okay. I've got tournament edition Randy Johnson. since he's on fire
That's
for
true.
us today. All right, bottom of the first inning. What do we got? Got a Blue Jay, but no Dodger. Scoreless after 1.
All right. Me again? Here we go. Second inning.
You're up.
Still getting shut down. We should have picked Tigers. I've already got a couple of those.
Yeah. In honor of Spore, every Tiger we get, I don't know, does a scoreboard have triple digits to put on there? I don't know. That's a lot of runs. Next up,
What do you got?
bottom of the second. We got a Philly historical. No Dodger. Scoreless after 2. Randy Johnson and Fernando Valenzuela doing well. Top of the third.
All right. Well, here we go. We got a Dodger. Well, hold on. Is he a Dodger? He's got a Mariners cap, but it says Dodgers logo.
I think we go with the logo.
Okay, he's in the Los Angeles live mission.
Okay, it's a Dodger. Congratulations. First run off for Randy Johnson. Bottom of the third inning. Pirates, Blue Jays, A's, everything but Dodgers there. Scoreless for me after 3. Let's go to the top of 4.
Come on, Dodger. We got a all right. We got a Dodger again. Same thing. It's a sort of Dodger, right?
But don't you lose it because you also got a Red Sox? Don't they cancel each other out? That would have been a good rule. If you pull a Red Sox, it's -1 run. Okay, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. Let's go to the 5th inning. 2-0 for Charles. Let's see if home field advantage can pay out here. Another Tiger.
See, you got a Red Sox. Yeah, you should have gone Tigers. All right, here we go.
Top of the 5th inning.
Hey, we got a goal.
Oh!
I have to set it to turn it. Wait a sec. That is a gold Dodger.
That's 3 runs. Randy Johnson gets lit up in the top of the 5th for 3 runs, 2 for the gold, 1 for the Dodger. I hate that stupid rule. Dodger. Jeez.
I'm going to switch it to the.
Ticked you off, didn't they? Okay, let's go to the bottom of the 5th. A diamond will tie the game up for me. That's all I need. I'll take a Dodger diamond. What do we got? Isn't that the old Dodger, the Super Boss logo there? No. Well, we got the Cubs, the Astros, the Rays.
Wrong thing. I just clicked the wrong thing. I was trying to set it up so that I could delay flipping the card over. And I clicked the wrong thing.
Maybe I'm due for a perfect here. The perfect would put me in the lead. Okay, we're going to the top of the 6th. Yeah, top of the 6th inning. Charles with a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to delay prior next card. Mouse click required. That's what I want. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. That is not a good pat. We got a lot of 42s.
Okay, good. I needed a scoreless half inning from you. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Diamond, baby, diamond, diamond, Dodger diamond.
Well, I'm just going to say, you better score before the 9th.
Whoa. Randy Johnson, we've bailed you out. Woo.
I was going to say, you better score before the 9th because we got Gagne warming up.
Well, you better sit his butt down.
This could be a good one.
All right. So just so we review the rules here, a perfect card is worth 7 points.
7 points plus you still could get it. Could be from today and it could be a Dodger.
Okay, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Any other perfect Dodgers out there?
Maybe just the two.
Ohtani.
But there must be some historicals too. It could be a historical.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm just so used to getting lives. Or maybe it's Salas, who I pulled twice already in the last couple of months. All right, here we go, chat. Here we go.
Yeah, it could be the Immortal Seasons. See what we got here. Got to see a fun one on stream, right? What do we got?
I will take it. I actually don't own that Mookie Betts right now either. I don't know if he's part of the missions, but I'm hoping he's part of the missions and I don't have to spend that. The called shot bets. Yes. Okay, chat, get ready to drink.
Shot and you hit it.
Synchronicity. There we go. On a bets day with the mission, we've got a live bet. Okay, so I got to.
I don't even know. Do we continue the game, or is that just like a walk-off? That might just be a walk-off bets. I don't know.
That should be that. Do you want to concede? Because that's how many points is that? That's like eight runs.
You know what
happened to Fernando?
I think if you hit that, I think I'm just going to concede. I think that's a walk-off shot.
Really? You just want to quit the game right now?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think
let's
if
play
in the
it
rules, I think if in the rules you hit a called your shot perfect dodge, I think that just wins.
Well, let's play it out for fun. If you're going to give me the win, I'll take it.
All right.
But let's open three more because
all right. I got a shot. I just need to come back with a Dodger. That's nope.
Nope.
Nothing there.
Ooh, the lights are still shining on that Mookie Betts. Okay. Bottom of the seventh inning. It is a 8-5 game. So still within reach. Okay. Nothing in the seventh inning. So we go to the top of the eighth, 8-5.
Right. Top of the eighth. Still getting shut out. I think our team just is too demoralized after that, you know?
Well, yeah, you got Mookie'd. You're going to be demoralized. Okay, bottom of the eighth. No Dodgers, so I'm a little bit nervous because you still have a chance here if you pull a diamond or a couple gold. Here we go. Ninth.
All right. Well, here we go. Last shot. Give us something to make it interesting. No. I'm telling you, once you hit that Mookie, it was just that's it.
That was it. Yeah. Anticlimactic. Let me open my last pack. See what we got. To top it off, no other Dodger, and the Hound, courtesy of EVC and his Dodger fandom, and giving me home field advantage. We pull out the victory with an 8-5 win. So that means Charles is going to go to the card shop and he's going to get this nice green spotlight pack for 45,000 points.
All right. Here we go. Well, I got all my bad ones out of the way, so I think I just open it immediately, right?
I think you open immediately. Yep.
Here we go.
Come on. Give him a
something
perfect.
Good here. It is. We got a diamond.
Okay.
All right.
So
we're hoping
the diamond's not guaranteed to be one of the newer cards, though, because it could be this gold card.
So let's look at the gold first. That is not one of the spotlit ones, right? That's an older set.
So we are going to get a spotlight card for Charles. Spotlight. Just wait, Charles. Don't open it yet. Don't flip it because I want to. I want to see
look at the list. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring up the list here. Who are you hoping for here? Maybe one of the elite cards?
I was trying to pull up the list. Yeah.
Christian
Yeah,
Walker.
I think anything I don't have is, so one of the new ones would be fun.
Let's call.
Yeah, I'd say any of the new ones I don't have. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe one of the new PT Elite would be good.
All right, let's call George Kirby for the Seattle Mariner fans. Make it a Kirby.
All right, here we go. It is. Well, it is a new card. There we go. PT Elite Luke Raley.
What's the last 10 on that?
Let's see. Says 88, but I don't think there have been enough sales to really know what the price is going to be yet.
Well, the 99 is still sitting there. So it's probably somewhere between 88 and 99.
Yeah, probably somewhere in there.
And you don't have to sell that one, but you got to sell the Kadire one, the Michael
here
Kadire.
We go. I will sell Kadire. Let's see, a bunch in the middle. I'll put him up one above the list if anyone in chat wants him. One above the bid. Let's see, Lefty Grove is probably not worth much. I think these others I can just list at the minimum, probably.
Yeah.
And then I'll say if people want the Luke Raley, I will list him at one over the biggest bid. So if someone wants him,
we'll
let someone in chat grab a Luke Raley if you want yourself a Ray. Just be careful because we did get a lot of Rays that came out this week, but I think the roster rules are that you have to only play one of them at a time and keep sending the others down, as long as they have options.
What a generous offer, one higher, and Mr. Audit saying he thinks that might be one of the bottlenecks too in the game there with that card.
Oh, is he one of the bottlenecks? Then if he's one of the bottlenecks, you should definitely go for him.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Charles, that was fun. That was a fun 9-inning game, and once again, you win for losing. You always seem to win when you lose. I got Mookie Betts, won me the game, and 25,000 perfect points. But I mean, let's face it, he's no perfect team elite card. Well, Charles, you planning on going on tomorrow with Is It Awful? Do you got a time? Do you know when you're going to be streaming?
I don't know the plan yet because I'm traveling, so I'm going to have to kind of see what we do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Plus, Spore will be on tomorrow. Don't forget, Spore is going to be on with an update for the next PTCS, which runs on the 13th, I think it is. I am back tomorrow night with a hockey broadcast, so if you enjoy some hockey and you enjoy some good laughs, come on over to the Black Aces NHL podcast at 9:30 Eastern with the panel tomorrow. And other than that, good luck in your playoffs, Charles, in perfect team. Ideally, I hope it's you and EBC.
We got to make it first. I know we got a good start, but my experience in Perfect League is that no matter whether your start is excellent or horrible, it's going to come down to the last 5 games, whether you get into the playoffs anyway. So I think it'll be close.
Yeah. Well, again, you deserve to be there, and I wish you and EBC the best. And any of the community that's in Perfect League, I wish you guys the best, and you bring home that trophy. Well, guys, we're going to raid over to Dr. Dynastic. He is on and streaming Out of the Park Baseball. So if you still need some drops, some Dynastic coins, chance to win some packs, go over there. Congratulations to the winners today. I don't know who eventually won the bounty. Reb, if you mentioned it earlier and you're still in the chat, was it you or the Spudders that ended up winning the whole tournament? Let us know in the chat. Charles, last words, anything to end off the show?
Yeah, just thanks. Always a lot of fun. And see you all next week, I guess. Okay.
All right, guys, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the gifted sub. Boiled Egg 1974 gifting a sub to Spore about an hour ago, and to Assos 99, Cow, Doggy, Hoofy, Goat. We got some interesting names in the followers today. Thank you guys for following the channel, and go cheer for George Brett to hit that home run. You might be pleasantly surprised. We'll see you guys next episode.
shine.